first time ever, the CFL is in Kelowna as the BC Lions have brought the party to the Okanagan Valley. 2 games set to be played in one of the most beautiful places in Canada, all part of a 9-day festival. And what a game to kick things off today. It is the Lions and the Calgary Stampeders. The fans, they're ready at a sold-out Apple Bowl. It's Touchdown Kelowna live. Woo!
Nathan Rourke, a.k.a. Kid Canada, a.k.a. Nate the Great, hadn't had a bad season stats-wise per se, but the only stats that matter in professional football is wins. See if he can get his first one tonight.
The former quarterback for this BC Lions team was Vernon Adams Jr. Now he is a Calgary Stampeder. Guys, think it ever goes away, that rivalry with your old team? I don't think so.
And the worst thing as a professional athlete outside of losing is watching your team lose. Well, guess what? Keon Hatcher is back, and he's looking to make some big plays tonight.
Now, if you're a Stampeders fan, you love to see this sight. It is the seasoned vet, Flo Rimalotti, officially returning today after recovering from a torn Achilles suffered back last September, hoping to make an immediate impact on that Calgary defense. The BC faithful, though, they want absolutely no part of that. They'd love to see their Lions pick up their first win of 2026. Kelowna, known for the stunning beauty, incredible wineries, endless terrain for outdoor activities, but now you can add professional football to the mix, and what a job they have done here in BC. To say we are excited is a complete understatement. I can't control my energy right now. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stiegel. Touchdown Kelowna finally here. Guys, as I said yesterday, there are some assignments that are really tough, and then there are some assignments where you're just like, can I do this every single day? This is one of them, Enoch.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Look at the energy here. You can feel it. You can see it. I'm excited to be here today.
Every time I'm outside and I smell the barbecue and see people drinking beers, I know I love my job, but I also kind of want to join them. That's the tough part. That's the tough part about doing this.
And I just look at the mountains in the background, and actually this is our job. We get paid for this. This is special, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. I love all you guys, I promise.
Well, I'll get emotional now, man.
I mean, I love you guys too. This is a lot, but maybe it's just the scenery, but I'll take it anytime. And by the way, you are from BC. I know you appreciate this so much too. But how about Farhan Lalji? And Farhan Lalji knows this Apple Bowl so well. He actually told me earlier he's played some football games here, correct, Farhan?
Yeah, it's been a minute, like the late 80s. It was a much different field then. Certainly the grass wasn't as immaculate, Kate, as it is now, and this is stunning, the way they've set this field up. No one has touched it for the last 2 months except the people working on it, and it looks like an absolute golf green. Kate, you could golf on it. Ches, I'm not so sure. And it's been raining the last couple of nights, and nonetheless, if you walk across this field, it is not slippery. It's held it really well. They've recentered the field. They've done some additional work around the corners, brought in some additional turf and things like that. So from a football perspective, heck, even the PA, David Mackey and Solomon Elamimian, they're here. They signed off on it. They love it. So that tells you something. And it's going to host 2 teams that are both sitting at 0-2 right now. And let's start with the Stampeders. They have been so close in both of their last 2 games. And Dave Dickinson says there isn't a lot of panic just because they've been that close. They just feel they're 1 to 2 plays away in every game. They feel they're right there, but they also know confidence can be fleeting, so today matters. And for the Lions, I think there's a feeling league-wide that as long as Nathan Rourke is a quarterback, eventually this team has that ability to figure it out and turn things around. But, man, the injuries that they have had, especially on the offensive side of the ball, it's been tough. Justin McInnes did not practice at all during the week. Rourke is really excited to have him back. Keon Hatcher wanted to play last week. The team held him back. He's ready to go in this game, but there's still some backups. And then late last week, TJ Lee on the defensive side suffered a bit of an injury. This morning they said he wasn't going to play. That's going to create 3 different changes in that secondary. Mike Benavides tells me the last time he was this nervous and stressed, he was working the panel.
You know, that's a complete lie, Farhan, because working the panel is legitimately one of the greatest jobs you can possibly have. You speak of all those guys returning to the BC Lions lineup. There is one man on this panel right now who is pretty happy to have these guys back in the lineup. BC owner Amar Doman, thank you so much for joining us. And first of all, congratulations on another incredible event. We were all out at Touchdown Pacific. It was fantastic. But when we heard of Touchdown Kelowna, again, another spot in this fantastic province that you get to bring football to, and you can look, it's a sold-out crowd today. How do you feel about what you see behind you?
You know, 100%. The thanks goes to number one, our team that's put this together here, to put together and set up, and you know, out of nothing, basically a whole CFL apparatus. It looks beautiful here, and to choose Kelowna, spread the fan base here, and give BC a little taste of the BC Lions. And the CFL worked with us to get Edmonton and Calgary in the schedule. Fantastic. It couldn't be better for us. So to be able to be here out of being displaced out of FIFA for good reason for Vancouver and what they're doing down there, could not be happier and more proud of the organization and the CFL here today.
Yeah, Amara, you've done such a great job since coming on here with the BC Lions, and I feel like I tell you this every time we see you, but you've done multiple things that everybody has seen, the fans have seen. You talk about the shoes. We're still waiting on the shoes for the panels to drop, but you know, the locker room and the jersey and everything that you've done for the BC Lions. Tell me, which one are you the most proud of that maybe the fans haven't seen at all?
I'm going to tell you right now, the thing I'm most proud of is the community. When I just walk around and I see kids wearing Lions jerseys, kids getting interested in sport, that was my value proposition from day one. How can we resurrect this beautiful brand of the BC Lions in the West and be proud of that? And it's coming through year after year after year. We're investing and we're not going to stop, and we're just so proud to be here.
Now for me, I want the unfiltered answer on this question. I don't want the filtered, politically correct answer. I want the unfiltered answer. Now, you've owned this team since 2021. You've invested your money, your resources, but more important, your time and your energy. You've changed the brand for the BC Lions. You've stabilized the fan base. But how tough has it been not having the success on the field that was expected?
Yeah, you know, biggest highs and biggest lows in my life, period, are the wins and losses. And, you know, it came close last year again, but, you know, I'm learning how tough this business is, because it's a business at the end of the day as well. And, you know, hey, everybody's got the same goal. Everybody's working just as hard. Everyone's trying. All the little pieces have to go right for you to get close. Then when you get close, you got to finish. And we're working hard at it. So it's been tough, but it's been a fun journey.
Everybody talks about, you know, what you've invested in your family and the people you have working with you, and you talk about the time. Success, you said you're going to keep on doing it, keep on going. What does success look like 5 years from now for the BC Lions, and other than winning on the football field? But what does success look like for this team and this franchise, let's say 5 years down the road?
Well, you know, I think already where we came from and where we are, the buzz, and, you know, just kind of the whole brand is back. Young kids want to come to games, and really that was the dream. So I think if we look 5 years out, I'm hoping that we can just continue to build the momentum, one fan at a time, you know, all that kind of thing, but really continue to rebuild the CFL in the West.
Yes.
Other areas of country, it's strong as heck. You know, we're working hard out here and trying to bring this great game to all the young people. So if I just keep going year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, and what we're doing, I think, Chezzy, we're going to be good.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick, man. That's how you build it.
We appreciate you.
100%.
You know what? That was one of the best things we saw at the Grey Cup, too. Obviously, you would have loved to have the BC Lions in that game, but just going to the convention center and seeing all those kids in Lions T-shirts, it was the best. How important was the Fan Fest as well? So to keep this party going for literally the entire time in between these two games.
You know, doing that, you know, Dwayne and the group gets a lot of credit for that, if not all the credit for that. To have a festival here, to keep fans engaged, and also all these young fans, they're going to be introduced to what the CFL. Some of them, they've never been to a game, they don't go down to Vancouver. We're bringing the show to them. Carry it on through the week, do all these different festivals, events, you know, there's all kinds of parties, but more importantly, there's this game, and now there's another game next Saturday that I believe we're selling right now.
I'm pretty sure it'll be sold out as well. Congratulations once again, Amar. This is absolutely incredible.
Beautiful.
The fact that you were able to put 18,500 seats in this stadium, and that's all that it was before, it's absolutely miraculous.
There was not a bad seat in the house, too.
You know what? This is the best views you could. And you know what? The field's amazing, too. The guys were testing it out earlier, and you know who likes it, too? Probably Nick Senecal. He had a fantastic game. Hoping to build on that. Of course, some guys coming back from injury for this receiving core. We have plenty more in the pregame coming up right after this.
You don't need a truck that talks. You need one that shows up. Work days, game days, and these days. Because the minutes, the hours, and the days add up. And Ram is up for them all. Ranked the most dependable full-size truck by J.D. Power and backed by an unsurpassed 10-year or 160,000-kilometer warranty. Get 0% financing for 72 months on both the 2026 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500 at the Ram Make Your Move event.
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99. Your favorite pizza at our best price. It's Domino's best deal ever, but it's not forever. So order now at
Domino's.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't look at my savings account.
BMO has 2 special ingredients to grow your savings. Great rates and no monthly fees.
You're hired. Apron.
Gotta be faster than that.
Welcome to Shell, where your rewards go further. Now Scene Plus members, Scotiabank, and Tangerine card holders from all across Canada can earn more, save more, and redeem more rewards at Shell to help you go further too.
Every new Hyundai vehicle sold supports Hyundai Hope on Wheels and its mission to help end childhood cancer. With more than $4 million donated across Canada this year, Hyundai and its dealers are just getting started to help kids put cancer in the rearview mirror.
Well, I'm really not trying to make anyone at home jealous of our trip, but Kelowna is just our first stop on our CFL Western swing. It is the 2nd annual Stampede Bowl from Calgary, where the Argonauts, pressure over their win in Saskatchewan, take on the Calgary Stampeders Thursday, July the 2nd from McMahon Stadium. And you know things are going to get a little wild with the panel on site. Wilt's going to be racing the world's fastest cow after Enoch beat him last year. The one and only Britt Dort will be completely decked out head to toe, covering the sidelines. You don't want to miss it. But first, 2 more games in week number 4. And of course, this one at Touchdown Kelowna, which we're both highly anticipating because both of these teams currently winless on the season, which is a little bit miraculous. It'll be interesting to see if this Stampede Bowl, the Calgary Stampeders do have their first win of the season, or they go into it winless on the season.
West semifinal between the Calgary Stampeders and BC Lions. Takes the head off, now he's going to be throwing down the field, got him in! Keon Henry's gone! And that one stings the Stampeders.
Semifinal Saturday, and a deja vu.
A little bit of time in zone! Touchdown BC! Picking apart the Calgary Stampeders again!
3rd time in 4 years, it's the Stampeders and the Lions.
McKinnis makes the catch, down at the 35, 3 seconds on the clock. Are you kidding me?
And you will have to wonder as the Stampeders think of what might have been.
So the Lions have won 8 of 11 regular season meetings with the Stamps since 2022, and they've also eliminated Calgary 3 times over that span, knocking them out in the Western semifinal in 2022, 2023, and 2025. Calgary looking to avoid their first 0-3 start in 24 years and hoping some key return players will help with that. With more, here is Rod Smith and Glenn Suter.
All right, Kate, and even though Calgary lost that game last November, Suits, one thing that stood out, the play of their defensive line. It's really a strength, one of the best in the Canadian Football League, and getting better in terms of personnel, Suits. In the last couple of weeks, they brought back the injured Jalen Hutchins last week, and now Folarin Rimolade, a former All-Star, in the lineup for the first time since last September.
Yeah, let's start with Jalen Hutchins, because he returned, as you mentioned, last week, 3 tackles in that game. But coming off the hamstring, you want to get that first game behind you. Last year, he registered 8 sacks, but it's not just about the sacks for him. He is a game wrecker when it comes to opposing offenses. He can move the pocket. He can collapse the pocket. He's got strength and speed, so it forces teams to double team him. Now, if you double team Hutchins, it doesn't guarantee you can stop him, and it also opens up one-on-ones for guys like Flo Rimolade, who will be playing his first game of the 26 campaign here tonight in Kelowna, and he has got a ton of tools in his toolbox. We've seen it many, many times. This could be, when you add Clarence Hicks to the mix, quickly the best defensive line in the league.
Yeah, Clarence Hicks, the only Stamp with sacks. He has 3 of them so far this season. And, Kate, we got to remember last November, even though the Lions won that game, up front, especially defensively, Calgary did not make it easy. Nathan Rourke threw for only 223 and no touchdowns, and Calgary's D-line back then did not have flow. They got him today.
It's just such a huge addition back to this team, too. And not just from the talent perspective, from the leadership perspective, too. That's what we say about Flo Rimalotti all the time. I think we can all admit, and I get it, it's not panic mode. We are only week 4 of the CFL season, but we had high expectation for both the BC Lions and the Calgary Stampeders coming into 2026. The 0-2 starts are a little bit shocking, and the crazy part is one of these teams is still going to be winless coming into week 4. And I think if you look at both teams, you can make an argument of who needs this win more. But Milt, who are you leaning towards?
As you mentioned, both these teams need to win. You know, you never want to start your season 0-3 and get in that hole. But more so than the Calgary Stampeders or the BC Lions, for me, it's quarterback Nathan Rourke. And I know they play the ultimate team sport, but there's a lot of pressure on Nathan Rourke. Coming into this season, he was expected to once again be the MOP, once again be the top Canadian, and more important than that, lead his team to the Grey Cup. He was the #1 player on our top 50 list, and right now, his team is 0-2. So regardless, if he loses this game, it's going to be on Nathan Rourke. I don't care if he goes out there and throws for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. People are going to say Nathan Rourke can't get it done. So for me, it's Nathan Rourke.
Who's going to say Nathan Rourke can't get it done if they lose?
I am.
That's not people, that's you.
Oh, shut up, Chase.
That's what I'm going to say. Look, well, ask you this question then. And I'm not disputing that there's a lot of pressure on Nathan. I guess my question would be, every other starting quarterback has high expectations.
Not like Nathan Rourke. Not like Nathan.
They all have salaries that are way higher than the rest of the guys in their team.
Like he's the highest paid player in the league.
It's all fractional. So, I mean, I think there's pressure on Nathan, but there's just as much pressure on VA. I mean, by the way, this team in Calgary, they loaded up. They feel good about it. Look at their defense. Their defensive line is the best line probably in the league, like the Suits and them just talked about. I think there's a lot of pressure on VA as well. And I would agree that, you know, because the BC Lions they play Sask, they play Hamilton. So that's 2 tough teams. Calgary lost 2 games at home. Now they're playing their 3rd game. They're 0-2 and they play both games at home. I think there's a lot of pressure on not Vernon Adams, but this whole Calgary team.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Milt, what you said. Not the BC Lions, not necessarily just Nathan Rourke, because you can still see Nathan Rourke doing his thing on the football field, but the BC Lions as a whole, I mean, this team, the expectations is through the roof coming into the season. You got the most outstanding player of the year in Nathan Rourke. You got the most outstanding defensive player in Mathieu Betts. This is the team that was supposed to be successful early on. It doesn't matter who you're playing, Chaz. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're playing the best teams early, guess what? If you're supposed to be the best, you got to beat the best. So to me, the expectations has got to be there's more pressure on the BC Lions.
I want to follow up more on this.
Yes, please.
Do you think that Nathan's played, and I'm not questioning, I'm asking it, but do you think Nathan's played good football this year?
He's played okay football, but not good enough. The great ones, and I think he is a great one. And I don't think he would make any excuses, regardless of what's going on defense, regardless who your receivers are, regardless what's going on. They're going to make ways and find ways to win. And I think he's that type of person who's thinking that. He's not going to make those excuses. So he's played okay. He hasn't played well enough. His team is 0-2. Yes, it's all on the quarterback. Quarterbacks are judged on what?
I feel like we don't talk about the Lions' defense either, though. It's not like they've been great whatsoever. I mean, look at what Betts did last season. And then all of a sudden, we expect them to come out the exact same way. And I think there has to be a little bit of blame on the Lions' defense, does there not?
It's a whole team thing. It's a whole team thing. Again, we talked about 5 touchdowns against the Ticats, 400 yards by Trevor Harris. That's not acceptable for a team that was supposed to be good.
And big plays. Today, for this Lions defense, they can't give up so many big plays. I expect Mike Benavides and this defense to slow the heck down on the blitzing. They've been blitzing crazy because they were getting pressure. In the CFL, if you blitz and they pick it up, you're going to get carved. They have to slow that down, make teams earn it.
Who should get the pressure? Mathieu
Betts, yeah.
Of course, that's enough defense.
Or Nathan Rourke should get the pressure.
That's enough defense.
D-line, maybe.
Wow, you're on Nathan Rourke's payroll.
All right, you know what, guys? I got to throw it before this gets out of control. Earlier today, Farhan Ladji caught up with Nathan Rourke.
Nathan, you've done this event before in Victoria. You've spent time during training camp in the Okanagan. What do these types of games and events mean to you?
Yeah, we're just excited to be here in BC, to be representing the province of BC. We're appreciative that we're playing, we have the chance to do so and to bring Lions football to an audience that doesn't normally get to have it in their backyard. So this is fun.
I know that you're excited that Justin McInnis is going to play, that you've got Keon Hatcher back in the lineup, but I know it's been a challenge with injuries in the receiving corps. Timing is so important to you. Where do you think you're at in that process after this week of practice?
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to be here. We're excited for the opportunity. This is a great football team that we're playing here, so we're feeling good, and we're hopeful for the opportunity.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cool. That wasn't so hard, was it?
And you know that this one's going to mean a lot to Nathan Rourke, and he said that too when we were at Touchdown Pacific too. I'm sure some family and friends in attendance and winning here in BC. Time now for the same game parlay. Milton Stiegel, who do you like in this game tonight?
Well, I like Dietrich Mills to go under. And I say that because the Calgary Stampeders are going to air it out. They're playing the BC Lions, who has the worst pass defense in the CFL. So Vernon Adams is going to try to throw the ball, Dave Dickinson all over the place. So Dietrich Mills will definitely go under.
You think they were bad before. Now TJ Lee is out too, who is probably their leader and their communicator back there. This is going to be tough. I agree with you. I like Tyson Philpott, Jalen Philpott at home in BC. Jalen Philpott coming back to play in his home province. I think he has a big amount of receptions. Jalen Philpott.
Yeah, and we talk about Hatcher coming back, and we talk about Nathan Rourke earlier and all the injuries we didn't really mention. Not making excuses, but a guy that stepped up in the absence of all the top 3 receivers for this offense, the BC Lions. Nick Senecal, the young guy that's building the chemistry with the BC Lions. I like him. I'm looking for him to.
Did you make that pick though before you saw that Justin McInnis?
I did, but I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it.
You regret that pick.
No, not really. I like the kid.
You know what the worst part is? I kind of regret my pick too, because I did it before I saw all these guys returning for the Calgary Stampeders, but I have James Butler anytime touchdown score. You know what? Maybe he'll get like a 2-yard. He'll just sneak it in, something like that. But I think this Calgary defense is going to be very, very tough today as we recap the same game parlay. As mentioned, I like James Butler anytime. Enoch, you're sticking with Nick Senecal, who was fantastic last week in anytime TD. Mill, you like Dietrich Mills going under. And Ches, you like Jalen Philpott over the receptions here. Now, meanwhile, we're speaking of Mills here. The rushing leader last season, off to a great start. Currently 3rd, but Brady Oliveira and Justin Rankin have already played this week. We chat with the Stamps QB, Vernon Adams, right after this.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Please be back, Ellen. Please be back. Grimace. Already got 7.
Collect one of 7 legendary cups with the FIFA World Cup meal. See McDonald's.ca for qualifying meals.
The Chevrolet Bolt is back with faster DC charging and huge tech upgrades and range to keep you going. Oh yeah, the Bolt is so back. Starting from $35,123 cash purchase price for eligible customers, the Bolt LT is Canada's lowest cash purchase price for an EV that has over 400 kilometers of estimated range.
Don't let heat waves make your bedroom a little too steamy.
Beat the heat with 25% off almost everything, like mattresses, pillows, sheets, and more for a limited time. Only at Sleep Country.
Stay cool, Canada.
Fries and curds and fries and curds and fries and curds and fries and curds and crumbled bacon, fries and curds and fresh green onions, fries and curds and fries and curds and bacon, double cheese, poutine.
Give your taste buds something to sing about at New York Fries.
For a limited time at Little Caesars, choose from 5 medium specialty pizzas, each just $9.99. A medium specialty pizza for $9.99. Oh, that's gotta be a glitch, right?
Specialty. You and I are in a committed, loving relationship. You're sleeping in the tub.
Jimmermans is alive!
A legacy-defining win that they cannot spin.
I knew you had that dog in you.
The Deborah statue seems unnecessary. How are people supposed to make an entrance if not between my legs?
Well, what a day in the Okanagan. Does it get any better than this in the summer in British Columbia? What a job the Lions have done transforming the Apple Bowl Stadium, by the way. Over 18,000 seats inside this stadium. As mentioned, here is Farhan catching up with Vernon Adams.
Vernon, both teams 0-2 going into this game. Just how much pressure is there to get a win here?
Man, I mean, it's pressure for both teams, but can't look at it like that, man. We just got to come out here, play our ball, man, start faster than last week, and just execute as an offense.
Offensively, you guys have been so close. I mean, both of these losses for your team have been close. What's the difference between that one play and not being able to make it?
Yeah, locking in as a quarterback, making that throw, staying in the pocket, making the right read, whatever it is, man. I just got to be better for my team today, and that's what I expect to do.
Thanks, Vernon.
Thanks, guys. God bless. Go Stamps.
A lot of pressure on both these teams today. Time for some game picks. Enoch, who do you got in this one?
Man, I love the atmosphere here, but I'm looking at the Calgary Stampeders, and Vernon Adams is talking about taking care of the football. He's got to take care of the football tonight. I love what the defense is doing and how they're getting healthy. Did we talk about Florian Romilati coming back already?
A couple
we did.
of times.
Okay, I think he's going to have a big impact
we know
tonight.
BFFs.
So the
okay.
Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, I took the BC Lions. I took them yesterday before I knew TJ Lee was out, so I'm a little nervous about that. Back to what you said, the pressure on Nathan. There's going to be a ton of pressure, especially today, because with TJ Lee being out, that secondary is going to have a tough day slowing down VA. I think VA has a lot of success today. They have to score a lot of points, BC's offense, to have any chance tonight.
Well, I think they're up to it. I think Nathan Rourke is up to it. It's going to be a shootout. I think Vernon Adams is going to have an absolutely excellent game. We talked about 74 points for scores yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more today. They'll have a shootout, but Nathan Rourke would win it. And I think if he wins it, he may get the Dog of the Week award. You never know.
All you've been talking about all day is how we have not picked a Dog of the Week. I haven't been here for Dog of the Week. Is this important to you?
It's important. It's very important.
It's real.
Well, right now, I think we know that Chad Kelly is the Dog of the Week. But for this one today, I have to go with the BC Lions. And you know what? I just look around right now, and I see stands absolutely. The game hasn't even kicked off. It is packed. There is not one seat currently available in this Apple Bowl. It's an incredible atmosphere, and that's why I do have to go with the BC Lions. So the underdogs are 2-0 to start week 4, but an upset win by the Elks and the Argonauts. BC only a 1.5-point favorite at FanDuel. Let's see if we can avoid another upset. All of us, of course, except for Enoch, will be cheering for the BC Lions to get the win today. But right now, both teams coming into the Apple Bowl Stadium, a sold-out crowd, and you can hear it. This is a Lions fan base right now as they boo the Calgary Stampeders. We got kickoff coming up right around the break.
'Cause you're hot and you're cold, you're yes and you're no, you're in and you're out, you're up and you're down, you're wrong when it's right, it's black and it's white. We fight, we break up, we kiss, we make that. You're hot and you're cold, you're yes and you're no, you're in and you're out, you're up and you're down.
This Bell Media station believes in being accountable to you, the viewer, which is why we participate in the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council. We are committed to upholding the highest standards of broadcast excellence and adhering to the codes of conduct administered by the CBSC. If you have a concern about something you saw on our station, contact us or the CBSC at P.O. Box 3265 Station D, Ottawa, Ontario, K1P 6H8, or visit the CBSC's website at cbsc.ca.
For a limited time at Little Caesars, choose from 5 medium specialty pizzas, each just $9.99. A medium specialty pizza for $9.99. Oh, that's gotta be a glitch, right?
Specialty.
There's going to be a short break here. Players are having their last top-up.
Dude.
The Hillman's Meal Break. Up your break game.
At Eastside Mario's, kids eat free every Tuesday when you dine with us. That's right, free! Mini Mario's can choose any kids' meal like cheesy bow ties, pepperoni pizza, or spaghetti. Oh, did we mention it's free? Tuesday just became your favorite day of the week.
In Canada, our future stars don't simply show up on the world stage. They are built from the ground up, right here in the heart of our communities.
Oh, lovely through ball there, Isaiah Johnson! Go for Halifax!
From a childhood dream to the national team.
Jacob Shuffle, good. Yes, he's done it. Canada on top of the footballing world.
We are Canada, driven by Volkswagen.
Introducing the most awaited collab. Osmos and Doritos presents the Walking Shawarma. Try it now.
For the first time ever, the CFL is in Kelowna as the BC Lions have brought the party to the Okanagan Valley. 2 games set to be played in one of the most beautiful places in Canada. The Apple Bowl has been completely transformed. It is a sold-out crowd, and they are ready for one. Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions to take on Vernon Adams and the Calgary Stampeders. Well, downtown Kelowna all quiet right now because every single person is currently at the Apple Bowl, and you could not ask for a more beautiful backdrop for a CFL game. This whole stadium has been transformed. We are at the Apple Bowl right now, and normally there are just a handful of stands. They have added over 18,000, and to absolutely no surprise, every single seat has been sold in this stadium today. Sorry, I'm a little excited about Touchdown Kelowna. It's Enoch Mwamba, it is Davis Sanchez, it is Milt Stegall, and we have a great game here, a Western clash between the Lions and the Stampeders. Enoch, who are you watching for in this one today?
Man, the Lions need this win really badly. I talked about Nick Senecal, his impact on the team last week. He's going to need to continue that. But Keon Hatcher has to be the one. Keon Hatcher Sr. has to be the guy. He's got to come back and be the guy that they know him to be. He needs a big game.
Can I use this crowd as my difference maker? Maybe they need to make a difference, because what I'm talking about is second down for the BC Lions and their pass rush. They got to find a way on second downs to get there. Bell and Matthew Betts, those guys on second down with this crowd have got to find a way to get there with just a 4-man rush. That's my key to the game.
We can talk about the superstars in this game. We know about Nathan Rourke, Vernon Adams, Dietrich Mills, others, but the guy I'm looking for is Tyreek McAllister. The kick returner, running back, receiver, the man who can do it all for the Calgary Stampeders. He can really have a big impact on this game. Don't be surprised if we see a return for a touchdown in his first half. That's what I'm looking forward to.
You know what I love about this, too? I mean, this is such an intimate stadium here today, and you look at BC Place. Not that it's not a great venue, and obviously has been there for years, but the intimacy here, it is. It's super nice, and we saw this when we were in Touchdown Pacific as well. It was incredible, but let's get you field level. We're going to get you to field level for O Canada in just a moment, but I can't stress what a great job they have done here at the Apple Bowl Stadium. And before kickoff, let's get you to O Canada.
At this time, if you're able, we ask you to please rise, remove your hats, and join local Kelowna band Rise Overrun in the singing of our national anthem, O Canada.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, and all of us command. With glowing hearts, we see the rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Stampeders and the Lions live from Kelowna. Rod and Glenn with the call next.
This grease is gonna be hard to scrub.
Nah, it'll be a waddle in the park with new and improved Dawn Platinum. Now with even more grease-fighting power. Ooh. It removes 99% of grease and food residue.
Whoa, new Platinum is pulling grease off like a magnet.
Totally. Platinum makes it easy to just swoop in and scrub less.
Ooh, no wonder it's the only soap trusted to save wildlife. Now that's a clean worth quacking about.
Yeah, new and improved Dawn Platinum, the better grease getter.
Still waiting to figure this out? End the waiting game. Felix connects you with a doctor online so you can get a weight loss treatment plan that's right for you. Get started for free at felix.ca. Felix, we'll see you now.
Shop PetSmart's Canada Day sale, June 25th to July 1st. Save 20% on Canadiana toys and apparel. Buy one, get the second 25% off all dog treats. Plus, buy 10, get 2 more free on select cat and dog food. PetSmart. Anything for pets.
It's back and more delicious than ever. A crispy chicken sandwich made with
bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun chicken, lettuce, mayo.
Tim's crispy chicken sandwich, a new take on an old fave.
A safer Ontario means playgrounds with no drug injection sites nearby. It means fewer cars being stolen thanks to more police officers and prosecutors. New jails so criminals stay behind bars. Public spaces without encampments, and bail reform that protects our neighborhoods. We're making every corner of Ontario safer to make all of Ontario safer. That's how we protect Ontario.
No pain, no gain? No thanks. Real strength isn't pushing through the pain, it's relieving it. When there's less pain, there's more gain. Advil targets pain caused by inflammation for fast, effective relief. Advil, that's real strength.
Roaming fees abroad can be insane. So I saved on roaming with the Saley eSIM app. Picked a flexible plan and connected instantly, topping up gigabytes 6 seconds. I think Saley deserves 5 stars. Download the Saley eSIM app for free.
Touchdown to Win is on at Save On Foods with hundreds of prize winners every season. You've really been on your game today.
Thanks. Yeah, everything is extra fresh out there, so we just need to take it one item at a time. And every shop has a chance at great prizes like gift cards, groceries for a year, or $1 million.
That's why we always bring our A game and our More Rewards card.
Extra service, extra quality, and extra excitement. Only at Save On Foods. Of Grand Prairie, Alberta. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If a kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Perry. Let's get you to the guys calling it. It's Glenn Suter and Rod Smith.
Thank you, Kate. What a day. What a stage. Welcome to the heart of the Okanagan Valley, a beautiful place here in Canada, and it is Touchdown Kelowna. Part 1 between the Calgary Stampeders and the BC Lions. Both teams at 0-2. Certainly familiar with each other, Glenn Suter. This is a rematch of the West Division semifinal last year that BC won. A rematch of 2 friends and former teammates, actually, at quarterback, in Vernon Adams Jr. and Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, let's start with Nathan Rourke because both these quarterbacks have played well, but Rourke is averaging over 310 yards per game, still looking for his first win of the season. Likes to play against Calgary, though. Has not lost as a starter for the Lions. VA has not thrown an interception this year and has lost 2 games by a total of 5 points.
Dave Dickinson, 10th year as the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders. First time that his season has started 0-2, and Buck Pierce in the same boat this season, second season as the Lions. They beat the Stampeders, as mentioned, in the West Semi a year ago at BC Place. This is a home game on the road for the Lions, looking at Silas Bolden back to get it because BC won the toss and they want the ball to get it started. Touchdown Kelowna. Part 1 is underway off the foot of Jude Micatemny.
Cover that.
Oh, they come in to get it. And who's last to touch it there as it took a hop? Micatemny with the kick. Little shorter And they discuss this could be Calgary football in the Lions zone right out of the gate.
Well, it was a pooch kick by design from Calgary. No question about that, because it's very accurate in front of the deep returners, but behind that line of blockers. And that's a live ball once it passes 10 yards.
And it is Calgary football. What a start for the Stampeders on special teams.
The ruling on the field is that was last touch by Calgary. First down.
And wouldn't you know it, it's Kalon Thomas, who once played junior football here, jumping in, and then Kaleshi, Ian Lebechi, one of them, George Adoko, and it was a Stampeder, the last one to touch the football, heading out of bounds. And so here we go for Vernon Adams.
Previous play is under automatic review by the replay center.
The referee Tim Croker making that announcement. They are going to have the replay center take another look at this to be sure.
You mentioned Kalon Thomas was the first to get to that ball and keep it alive, while the BC Lions almost looked like they were asleep when that hit the ground, that they weren't sure that it was a live ball or not. Thomas got his hands on it. That tips it up in the air, keeps it alive. His teammates get to it. He, of course, played for the Okanagan Sun, so he's played on this field, familiar. I'm sure he's got lots of family and friends in the stands, and he keeps it alive, keeps it going, and now who touched it last? They're reviewing it.
This is assuming a Stampeder touched the football. And so the replay center has reviewed, and this is their decision.
After automatic review by the replay center, it was determined that BC number 11 was the last to touch the ball. It's first down at the 36-yard line.
So not Calgary football. The returner, Silas Bolden, it is ruled, was the last one to touch it.
Well, they're lucky to get away with this one because they were late to this party, and going out of bounds, it looked like Bolden just, tough to see from that replay, but looked like Bolden just got a piece of it. And all you have to do is bat it out of bounds. Can't kick it out of bounds or it goes to the other team. But you bat it, it's your ball.
So up at the 36 to begin. Scrimmaging the BC Lions. A couple of fakes. And then getting it to James Buck. And that pickup around the 44 for BC. Second down ahead.
Got another Okanagan Sun in there at fullback, helping out with a little bit of misdirection on this well-scripted screen pass to get things started here for the BC Lions.
Lions starting their season in Saskatchewan and losing a close one and then not a close one in Hamilton. Their defense certainly was scrutinized. It's a 2nd and 4. And coming home, if you will, back to the province of BC. Looking for that first win of the season, as are the Stamps. 2nd and 4 now. Rourke, play action fake, loads it up deep, and no, falls incomplete. He was looking there for Jermaine Jackson. Delaney Robinson in on the coverage, down deep. It's a 3rd down coming up here for BC.
Not a bad idea, though, for Nathan Rourke to just take a shot down the field. If it's incomplete, your receiver can't run under this, and Jermaine Jackson. You've planted a seed in the minds of the defensive secondary for the Calgary Stampeders. Basically said, we're not afraid to go down the field, back off a little bit. That should open up the underneath route.
The new returner for Calgary, Tyreek McAllister, had a missed field goal return for a touchdown last week against Saskatchewan from Carl Meyer, and McAllister takes it at the 11. Makes a man miss. Up over the 25, he's still in, and he goes out of bounds around the 35, and a good return for McAllister, who was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats as one of their CFL season in 2023. So here comes Vernon Adams.
So Vernon Adams, who has played very well, just almost 500 yards passing, has not thrown an interception going back to last year. 118 attempts, has not thrown an interception. So he's eliminated the mistake. And as we mentioned off the top, lost 2 games by a grand total of 5 points.
He's passed for just under 500 yards in the 2 games, and the start is on the ground to one of the top running backs in the CFL, and a gain of 5 for Dietrich Mills.
Always like to look at matchups on the offensive line. William Barnes, 26 years old, out of North Carolina, play that right tackle. Should see Matthew Betts a ton. The Lions are looking for more production out of their defensive line. And then the leader in this receiving corps for Calgary is Jalen Philpott out of the University of Calgary.
He has 8 catches, 149 yards on 12 targets so far this season. on the second down after the 5-yard pickup, and they try to go underneath. Adams does for Mills, but not enough on it. It falls short, and a 2-and-out for Calgary.
Yeah, that's about pressure brought out of the gate. And again, this is a point of emphasis all week for the Lions, that they want to, as David Sanchez said in the pregame show, the Lions want to go with 4-man pressure and get out of this blitz package they've been playing in the last two games. It's got their secondary in a bit of a bind a couple of times, especially against Hamilton. They need pressure out of 4. They got it there and moved VA off his spot.
Mark Bassett is the punter for Calgary to take the snap from Jason McGugan, who had not snapped it when there was movement along the line, and jumping there, Riley Pickett for the Lions, and the flags come out. And remember, this is a third and a little more than 5 yards.
Yeah, this is short yardage enough that I think Calgary goes ahead and goes for it. I mean, it's
offside.
Probably
BC.
6.
Number 45. It's 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
So instead of Mark Bassett, that's enough, as you say, Suits, for the short yardage QB Quincy Vaughn and company to head on now in a 3rd and about a foot and a half.
Yeah, that's a freebie first down, really, because we're talking about inches after that early movement and contact made. So you can, if the ball's not snapped, you can get into that neutral zone and jump back out of it if you can do it in time. But if you make contact with the opposition, it's offside.
Quincy Vaughn from Hamilton in his 2nd year out of North Dakota, and 2nd year he's handling the short yardage duties, does plunge ahead, and that penalty's a break for Calgary as they get to continue this drive.
So the Lions so far after 2 games have just 1 sack, that by Matthew Betts, and they're last in the league in pressures. Got to be better there. Some changes now in the nickel position for the Lions. That's going to be Jackson Finley from safety down there. Deontay Williams will go to the boundary halfback because TJ Lee was a last-minute scratch, and Josh Haggerty will start at free safety for Finley.
A beleaguered secondary too, and then losing TJ Lee. See how Vernon Adams tries to test it, but they go on the ground again to Dietrich Mills, and why not? Mills looks like he's got enough for the first down. He has 9 carries of 10 plus this season heading into this game, and looked like he picked up 10 yards right there.
Yeah, nice blocking up front. Just the next off-color jersey, just go ahead and slide to your left. Basic zone play off the left side, and leading rusher from a year ago gets another first.
10 yards on the button. That's up just into the Lions territory at their 53. So the opening possession that continued via penalty for the Calgary Stampeders, off to an 0-2 start after a close one. Winnipeg won in a walk-off at McMahon, and then last week we went to overtime against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who won it. Quincy Vaughn is in too, and in motion as a receiver. Adams looking deep down the right. Contact made before the ball arrives. That's intended for Jalen Philpott, and a flag does come out against BC.
Playing with a rookie on the corner in Tyson Russell.
Pass interference. BC number 26.
And
it's automatic first down.
This has been the issue, especially against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, for Mike Benavides' defense. When you look down here at that corner position, Tyson Russell basically gets just a straight man. He's in great position, but then panics and tackles the receiver. I mean, not surprising when you're a rookie. That's TJ Lee, was a last-minute scratch. That hurts.
So a 1st and 10. Here's Adams. With pressure on, he steps up, has some time. A look into the end zone, but too far. Intended there for one of his top receivers, Eric Brooks. Incomplete, 2nd down.
Just a little off-schedule play for Vernon Adams. The Lions are getting upfield with their front 4. Dropping into that zone. Adams has a receiver, but just misses him by a couple of yards.
See how they adjusted the end zones here in Kelowna to get this natural grass field down. A 2nd and 10 at the 20. Little movement on the line for the Lions. And a flag does come out. And it's off to Mills. And a steam. First down and more. Dedrick Mills heading to the end zone. Mentioned the flag is out. It looked like offside for BC. Didn't see a signal as he was heading to the pylon.
Offside.
They did give
BC
a touchdown.
number 99. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is touchdown.
Touchdown Calgary. A 20-yarder.
Just great composure from Vernon Adams here to, as the pocket breaks down, which it does fairly quickly here, he gets out of there, keeps his eyes up the field, and then quickly notices that his star tailback in Dedrick Mills is open on the edge, and he gives it to him.
Dedrick Mills doing the work again, and yes, they give it to him in the point after, and a 7-0 lead. Micah Tamney, the kicker, filling in for Rene Paredes with the point after. So Dedrick Mills, a receiving touchdown that time, his first of the season, to go along with what he had on the ground. He's been busy. 8 plays, 75 yards, and a 7-0 team for the visitors here in Kelowna.
BetMGM takes your soccer fandom further with over 150 stats-based markets. From unique betting options like offsides to red cards and total corners ticket, BetMGM takes the drama of soccer to new heights. Stay ahead of every play with live betting options and real-time stats, and make every moment on the pitch your chance to win. BetMGM, the sportsbook where we know how to treat you right.
Touchdown to win is on. Are you ready?
I sure am. Every tap of my More Rewards card is a chance to win.
Score bonus entry when you buy M&M's Peanut.
Will you be ready when your name's called? Save on Foods, giving you extra.
Boxing Day is back at the Brick with 2-day deals. Save $950 on this modern 2-piece sectional on sale for its lowest price ever. And this MyDia 18 cubic foot fridge is only $5.99. The Brick, saving you more.
And the men who hold high places must be the ones who start to mold a new reality closer to the heart, closer to the heart.
Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps.
Take another look at this touchdown from Dedrick Mills. He gets outside, and C.J. Colton is going to be the first one to arrive, and I'll show you the mistake by the young corner. Stop it here. He has to get outside leverage here. If he's going to miss, he has to miss from the outside because his friends and the pursuit from the BC Lions defense is coming from inside out. He doesn't get that outside leverage, and Dedrick Mills says thank you very much and takes it to the house.
Micah Tamney, the kickoff, heading down to Bolden, just outside his 10. Good coverage there by the Stampeders as he barely makes it around the 25. For Nathan Rourke to come on, and yeah, another touchdown, second of the season for Dedrick Mills. Just barely getting to the pylon there in that 20-yarder, and Calgary has a lead. They talked about the importance of that too, falling behind against the Riders last week and against Winnipeg back in week 1.
C.J. Colton's got a few years experience in the Canadian Football League, but
started his career with the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yep, that outside leverage on that tackle.
So in a 7-point hole, 3 receivers off to the left, a flag coming out, and on that handoff to James Butler. Will this be going against BC?
Just a few sort of lapse in concentration from the BC Lions early in this game. The kickoff that they allowed to bounce. You know, once it goes 10 yards, it's a live ball. You got to get on that ball. The offside to keep the drive alive for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah.
Offside, BC number 84. Penalties decline. Second down.
And then that offside penalty.
Yeah, now they're in, second down production. They penalty declined, but this is just a lack of concentration from the Lions to start this game.
And the biggest penalty of all, of course, was the long pass interference 33-yarder that set up Calgary. They eventually scored the touchdown, hence the 7-point lead here in Kelowna. Nathan Rourke, second down, under pressure, gets it away, and that is Xander Horvath with his first touch of this game. Markel Lee and getting some help here too, but a third down and long coming up here for BC.
I'm going to have to kick it away. And I talked in the pregame show about the new additions and what looks like is going to be a very strong defensive line for Calgary. Jalen Hutchinson, game 2 at that defensive tackle. Flo Rimolade coming off the edge, his first game of the 26th season. And of course, Clarence Hicks.
And it was Kyle Wilson in starting that tackle, helped out by Lee. So the punt, Calgary gets the ball back, a 54-yard punt. Tyreek McAllister weaving his way through, breaking a few tackles as he gets that return up to around the Stampeder 35. Beautiful Kelowna, BC, and part 1 of Touchdown Kelowna.
Wayfair's Canada Day clearance is here. Right now through July 6th, save up to 70% off everything home, like outdoor seating, dining sets, grills, and more. And get it all with fast, easy shipping right to your door. Now is the time to get your space ready for barbecues, backyard hangs, and summer parties. Plus, score surprise flash deals for just 24 hours. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Canada Day clearance now through July 6th for can't miss summer savings.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Let's cut to the chase. You don't need a truck that talks. You need one that shows up. Work days, game days, and these days. Because the minutes, the hours, and the days add up. And Ram is up for them all. Ranked the most dependable full-size truck by J.D. Power and backed by Canada's best warranty of 10 years or 160,000 kilometers. You better believe that nothing stops Ram.
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99. Your favorite pizza at our best price. It's Domino's best deal ever, but it's not forever. So order now at Domino's.
Touchdown to Win is on. It's a real team effort.
We all give a little extra for our customers. And there's hundreds of prizes to be won.
Score bonus entry when you buy Christy Ritz crackers.
Save on foods, giving you extra.
It is the first meeting between the Stampeders and the Lions since last November in the West semifinal. Rourke and BC had a 2-touchdown lead in the second half. And a big catch there, a drive. It was tied at 30. That big one to McKenna set up a walk-off for Sean White. Last play of the game, and they moved on to the Western final. That close.
Dedrick Mills, 100 yards in that game, plus 300 passing for VA. That one went right down to the wire. Who got the ball last?
And it's exactly it. So Calgary has the ball now, and they have the lead too, and that is the first catch of this game for, to mention, one of the top receivers for the Stamps so far, Eric Brooks.
Now VA in his career is still looking for, in this game tonight, is looking for win number 50 as a starter in the Canadian Football League. I agree with the panel who talked about when you get traded from a team or you leave a team, does it ever go away? That it will bother you? I don't think it ever does either.
No. Second down and 4 after the Brooks catch. Back to Mills, who has the touchdown in this game. Didn't like what he saw inside. He takes it outside. He picks up a few more yards, gets it closer to a first down, but he's still a couple of yards away.
It's a good tackle by Jackson Finley. All eyes on this secondary and sort of linebacking core with all the adjustments because they've moved Deontay Williams, as we mentioned, to that boundary corner. So Finley is going to now play closer to the line of scrimmage. He's 6'2", 207, so he can play the run as well. He read that one and cut Dedrick Mills off.
But still 2.5 yards away. They won't chance that. Mark Bassett is outstanding inside the Calgary 30. There is Silas Bolden, the one returner back there for BC. First quarter in Kelowna and a 7-0 Calgary lead. A matchup between two teams still looking for their first win of the season. That one's whistled down before the snap of the football.
Timeout violation. Calgary number 15. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
All right, so the Stamps will go a little further back. We were walking on this field, by the way, the suits beforehand. It's just a wonderful job they've done with a beautiful natural grass surface.
Unbelievable, really. And there's been a little bit of rain over the last couple of days here in Kelowna, and boy, that field is top notch. Mar Doman does it again, and his crew. He gives credit to the staff of the BC Lions. Have done a lot of work. All these stands, over 18,000 in attendance. We're all built for these two games, and they'll play next Saturday against Edmonton.
The unbeaten Edmonton Elks.
Yes, sir.
The last one standing right now. After the Riders lost to the Argos last night. So a 3rd and 7 after the time count violation. You saw the special teams coordinator Craig Dickinson not liking that. So Bolden takes it inside the 30 for BC. A 45-yard punt and a good return here up across the 40 as he is tackled there by Quincy Vaughn. Nathan Rourke 2 for 3 early on, but the Lions still trying to get something going early in this game. Looking for win number 1 in 2026.
Eastside Mario's Daily Deals are here with a purchase of a beverage. Join us on Monday for all-you-can-eat pasta for $19.99. Wednesday, buy any dinner, entree, or pasta and take a pasta home free. That's right, free. Thursday, 3-course dinner for 2 for $50. Only at Eastside Mario's.
Here it is. This could be a big one. There's the cross. He rises to meet it. And it's a car!
This tournament, every corner kick goal is your chance to win a car. When the ref signals a corner, post hashtag on every corner, hashtag sweepstakes on X, and tag Enterprise. And you could win this.
Your baby doesn't love you anymore.
Touchdown to Win is on. It's a real team effort.
We all give a little extra for our customers. And there's hundreds of prizes to be won.
Score bonus entry when you buy Budweiser Zero non-alcoholic beer.
Save on foods, giving you extra.
Back at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna, BC. Touchdown Kelowna. And right now it is the Lions trailing 7-0 with the football. Still in the first quarter, up at their 41. Under 6 minutes to go until quarter time. And still waiting for the Lions offense to get in gear with some heat coming. And that one off to Jermaine Jackson. He breaks a tackle. He keeps on going. Good yardage after the catch for Jermaine Jackson, who takes it into the Stampeders zone inside their 45.
With Jalen Hutchings back for Calgary and Flo Rimalotti playing his first game, don't be surprised at all to see a lot of this from Nathan Rourke, which is just a quick game, get it out of his hands quickly, don't let that pass rush get home.
And they work tempo, underway right now, and off to the right, quickly for Butler and a bit too far. And it was Kyle Wilson in on the coverage there, not quite, second down.
Starting offense for the Lions, Joshua Donovan will play for Brandon Yates at left guard. That's one change up front due to injury. Keon Hatcher and Justin McInnes are back. There are question marks there, but Nick Cynical stepped up in his first game against Hamilton, over 100 yards. Interesting story out of Montreal.
Sure is. Played his college ball at Hawaii, but talk about taking advantage of a chance with all those injuries. What a game he had. A couple of touchdowns against the Ticats. 2nd and 10, off to the right again, and it's caught Keon Hatcher. Well, they're glad to have him back in the lineup after missing last week in Hamilton and a big first down. And a flag is out as well. And it looks to be going against Calgary.
No question. happy to get Hatcher back.
10-yard misconduct penalty. Calgary number 1. Add 10 yards to the end of the play. It's first down.
Clarence Hicks, their defensive end, flagged for that after the completion from Rourke to Hatcher.
We haven't given much love to Clarence Hicks, who has all the Calgary sacks after 2 games in the season.
Flag for something there. 4:46 in the clock and counting. Best possession for BC so far in this one. Late first quarter. The fake. The throw. Rolling right. It's intercepted. Picked up by Zy Alexander, who got the start with the injuries in the secondary for Calgary at the boundary halfback spot. Rourke, a little play fake. He rolled out to the right, and Alexander stepped right up. And the turnover. The Stampeders, they have the lead. They have the ball.
FanDuel is setting the tone this season as the exclusive home of CFL same-game parlays. Build your same-game parlay with all your favorite football bets, like rushing, passing, and receiving yards. With 3 downs, every drive means more. Bet CFL same-game parlays exclusively on FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook and casino. FanDuel, play your game.
It's Harvey's $3 summer menu season, featuring favorites including a flame-grilled hot dog or junior burger, and even hand-spun milkshakes for only $3 each all summer long.
It's a beautiful day. And then it went like a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Back at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna, and you see the connection here. The Okanagan Sun Juniors, the alumni there, including a couple playing in this game, and also notable connections to Hall of Famer John Helton, who calls this home as well. With more on this, let's head down to the field and join Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, Rod, the Okanagan Sun are really the flagship franchise in the BC Football Conference. They have won so many Cullen Cups, and yeah, they do have their fingerprints all over this game beyond just the stadium. Jacob Bond and Kalon Thomas, one from each team. They were members of the 2022 national championship team, and they call this stadium home for Bond, who was able to use the same locker room. The Lions are using the Okanagan Sun locker room. His name is up there. It is signed. Kalon Thomas is also up there. They both were on that defense in 2022, formed a great relationship, and really felt they learned the game here. And for Bond, 30 members of his family are here for this game. He grew up in Kamloops, less than an hour from here, and certainly had a lot of success in his 4 years here, and really understood at that point that this was going to be a possibility with the success that he had there. A couple of other players that came up here as opponents, Javon Kajoy and Kieran Poissant, injured on the Lions sideline. One won a couple of games here, one lost a couple of games, but their memories of playing in Kelowna are very, very good.
Interesting to see those connections to this beautiful spot here in the Okanagan Valley, and there are Jacob Bond and Kalon Thomas, as Farhan mentioned, teammates together in this field and winning a championship.
Jacob Bond has 30 tickets.
Wow.
And he needed for this one. Back to his home stomping ground.
Right now his team's in a hole, but you saw the deflection at the line to force a second down here with some heat coming on Adams. They've got him down deep. Matthew Betts adding to his sack totals. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year for a second time, and BC will have to kick it away from the end zone.
They're going to let, at times, Mike Benavides, the defensive coordinator, will let Matthew Betts move around. This time he's going to move around and then hit the backside A gap. That's between the center and the guard, and he does it because he wants to get, in fact, he goes all the way around to B, and he wants to let him have a little more freedom to get to that quarterback, and he gets home his second on the season.
And Mark Bassett pushed well inside the Calgary zone, end zone. And in fact, Silas Bolton is standing at midfield to get this one from Bassett. It's a beautiful punt. He is the backpedal to about his 47, 59-yard punt. And he finds some space, and he gets it into the Stamp zone, though, just across the Calgary 50. So big switch on field position there with a good stand by the BC Lions defense.
Well, it is such a beautiful spot, and the Okanagan Sun, just a great organization. We talked to Jay Christensen before. This is the 2022 Canadian Bowl, and some great CFL players, including John Helton, grew up in this area.
It calls it home after like a Hall of Fame career with the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah. Jay Christensen, who played for Edmonton, Calgary, and the BC Lions.
There's James Butler. Let's see if the Lions, they got things moving. Suits, as they got down until the interception, they had been moving. Butler again, and they have a great place to start.
Well, let's get to that Stamps D. Jalen Hutchings back. This is game 2 for him, and Flo Arimolade, first game for him. He's been cleared medically a while ago, but they wanted to be sure with an Achilles injury, and he's ready to go. Markel Lee leads the team in defensive plays from the middle linebacker spot, and Zai Alexander already with an interception. The rookie playing the boundary halfback.
2nd and 3, back to Butler. No, they stand him up at the 40 and no further. So we see the D-line with a little bit of support as well. There's Folarin Arimolade, who last played in early September, tore his Achilles against the Edmonton Elks just after Labor Day, and his first game back. Jalen Hutchins, who had such a great rookie year in the middle of that Stamps D-line in 2025.
Just an offensive play record. I mean, he's got that combination of power, size, and quick feet. He can collapse the pocket from the middle and let those two ends have at it.
Standing under center is Xander Horvath. Short yardage. He has to get that couple of yards. He got that and then some. Good work by Horvath against Calgary's D to pick up the couple of yards necessary to move the sticks.
So that's the challenge for Buck Pearson, calling these plays with that defensive line. We've seen a little quick game from Nathan Rourke that's been successful. Want to keep the run in there, so guys like Flo Arimolade and Clarence Hicks will take a peek to James Butler or Horvath first before getting into their pass rush mode and try to control that man, number 95.
Down to the 38 of Calgary. Lions moving into the Stamp zone. Something going here in a play action pass coming from Rourke. No, met right away as McInnes. Anthony Johnson timing that up and making contact just as McInnes was going up for the ball.
Good timing, but this ball was high, and that's saying something when it's Justin McInnes. Justin McInnes stands 6'4" and has one of the best catch radiuses in the league. I mean, he's got those long arms. That one a bit of high and inside. You know that Nathan Rourke would like that back.
2nd and 10 from the 38 should be the last play of the first quarter. Three to the right, looking off to the left, and in traffic too. Lebeshi is there, Johnson too, and McInnes wanted a flag, and there is one out on the field.
I think Lebeshi is going to get called on the pass interference. Little early contact on Justin McInnes, who, by the way, was a real question mark to even play tonight. Tweaked what looked like an ankle.
Pass
you see the jersey.
Calgary number 51. It's an automatic first down, and that's the end of the first quarter.
So Kelechi and Lebeshi is called for that one. We're through one quarter here in beautiful Kelowna, BC. And it is the Lions trailing, but with a chance to get on the board coming up here to start quarter number 2.
With diabetes, progress is knowing how my food choices impact my glucose levels. The new Freestyle Libre 3 Plus is the world's smallest sensor that helps me make confident choices. Ask your doctor about the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor.
It's Harvey's $3 summer menu season, featuring favorites including a flame-grilled hot dog or junior burger, and even hand-spun milkshakes for only $3 each all summer long. It's a beautiful day.
These are turbulent times.
The crown is a weight that crushes. You'll do things that spell death for all involved.
We are exposing her as weak.
My enemies have been allowed to muster their strength.
Did I not warn you that you would come to this?
Through one quarter, a touchdown Kelowna. The Stampeders lead it by 7. As you look at these numbers, and even one you don't see, the penalty numbers really hurt BC in that first quarter, as did that turnover that took points off the board.
Yeah, how many times have we heard coaches say that it's the little things, it's the details that matter? And I think right now in that first quarter, the BC Lions have missed that. That's not taking anything away from Calgary and that great drive, but it was aided by an offside on 3rd and 6. You know, you've got that opening kickoff that was a little sloppy for the Lions. They survived it, but it was sloppy. And then an interception in the red zone for Nathan Rourke. Just small details that the Lions have to clean up.
And looking to settle down now. There's a nice sight, isn't it?
Did I mention that it's wine country?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the first thing you mentioned, and the second. But known for its wine, of course, its orchards. And a great vacation area and a lot of fans coming in to enjoy watching this one. And Nathan Rourke starts the second quarter with a catch for McInnes, and he spins around and just inside the 15. But there's a first down for BC, getting very close to getting their first points on the board.
Yeah, they just have to clean up a little bit of those details and get back to the rhythm of running the offense. Again, moving the pocket. Moving the launch point for Nathan Rourke is respect for that defensive line in Calgary.
13-yard pickup for BC. And inside the 15, but the 14-yard line now, and a 1st and 10. First meeting of the season between the Lions and the Stampeders, who met in the playoffs last year, familiar playoff opponents in recent times. 4-man rush. Rourke, he checks it down to Xander Horvath. And a steam touchdown BC.
Due to the injury bug hitting the Lions early in the receiving core, Barry Hill out, Javon Catoy out. The Lions are going to go with a lot more two-back. That's James Butler out of the backfield, and that's Horvath. So they're going to go with 2 tailbacks throughout this game more than they normally will. And this time it's a little flare route from Horvath that gets outside, and then he outruns a good tackler and Derek Moncrief with that nice cutback. And single point away from tying this game.
Xander Horvath in his second year out of Purdue, who really introduced himself to the league with a big game at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. With a long run for a touchdown. But they've used him, you're right, to spell James Butler, but he's made an impact, and we did see him in short yardage as well.
Right, well, spell James Butler is his normal role. But again, because of inexperience in the receiving core, why not go to more of a 2-back offense? Doesn't mean you don't stop throwing the football like we see in this example of this touchdown. But you got 2 great backs that can catch it out of the backfield. They'll block for each other. I asked James Butler this week about the 2-back set, and if we'd see more, he said, yeah, you probably will, and I can't wait. They're great friends with mutual respect. They support each other.
So a tie ball game at 7s here in touchdown Kelowna, and Lions, after a shaky start to this game, must be feeling a little better about things now. Buck Pierce, second year back in BC, and Vernon Adams Jr. firing them up, waiting to get back on the field.
Most important play in football is the next play.
Always.
That's what he's thinking. Don't worry about that. We'll get it back.
Well, less of a strange feeling, I'm sure, for Adams, the former Lion, going against his old team. This is his second year in Calgary. Threw for over 4,000 yards with the Stamps last year. Best season in 23, starting with BC. Calgary football. Tyreek McAllister finds an opening. Good return, McAllister. Up across midfield. An explosive player. We saw that with the Ticats back in 2023. He went away to the NFL. This is first year back at a 39-yard return.
Well, Calgary lost that double overtime game to Saskatchewan, and he had that 120-yard missed field goal return that really brought Calgary back into it and made it a game. I mean, it went to double overtime. It was his big return, and every time he's touched the ball here tonight, it feels like he's going to break it.
I remember having that feeling when he was with the Ticats. I was surprised to see he only had one return touchdown with Hamilton 3 years ago, and that also was on a missed field goal, but he could be a game breaker. Calgary football, tie ball game. Diedrich Mills, who scored the Stamps touchdown, and gets some help as he keeps pushing his way inside the Lions 50.
Christopher Fortin just continuing to road grade along that offensive line, get his running back a couple extra yards. Playing center, took over for Bryce Bell, who is on the roster and dressed. This offensive line, good veteran group that's played together now for a couple of years in front of Vernon Adams.
Last year was a real resurgence for the Stamps, who had missed the playoffs before and had a really good start. Finished up in third in the West, losing to the Lions last November. Adams, and he throws that one down low. Closest to it was Dejan Brissett, but he was facing some heat, and we get a third down coming up here for Calgary.
Yep, facing the heat right after we talk about an offensive line that's played together a little bit. The concern for BC has been their D-line. And that battle in the trenches we've been watching closely, and if there's been one glaring improvement from the first two games for the Lions to this one, is consistent pressure in the first quarter and the early part of this second quarter on Vernon Adams from four-man pressure from the Lions.
Third straight 2-and-out for this Calgary offense, but they are trying a field goal right now, a 56-yard try for Jude Mikitemni. Got some leg. That's good. 56-yarder to give the Stamps the lead again. Mikitemni played in the NFL with the New York Giants, and he's up filling in for Rene Paredes, the veteran who couldn't start the season. And how about that? 10-7. Mikitemni. Yeah, it's good.
Body language.
No! He whiffed it.
A player Mike bet on just missed an open net tap-in and got subbed off.
I could have scored that in jeans.
Mike doesn't know it yet, but thanks to Bet365's sub-on play-on,
The net was wide open.
his prop bet rolls over to the fresh leg sub coming on. So if the sub scores, Mike still wins.
False alarm, people. My bet's still good.
If your player gets subbed, your bet plays on.
Is that designer dress from Winners? Or did she pay full price?
Stop wondering. Start winning. Winners. Find fabulous for less.
Tim's new Poppin' Frozen Quenchers explode with popping candy. Like a rocket meets an asteroid. Or a symphony of fireworks you can drink. New Poppin' Frozen Quenchers. Try all the flavors only at Tim's.
The Chevrolet Bolt is back with faster DC charging and huge tech upgrades and range to keep you going. Oh yeah, the Bolt is so back. Starting from $35,123 cash purchase price for eligible customers, the Bolt LT is Canada's lowest cash purchase price for an EV that has over 400 kilometers of estimated range.
Well, after a 57-yard Calgary field goal, Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions find themselves trailing again, but he's got a very good history, Suits, against the BC Lions.
Yeah, does he ever, including the playoffs.
Calgary Stampeders, excuse me.
Yeah, the Calgary Stampeders. And, you know, when you look at that, if you want to bump a slump, do it against the team that you haven't lost to as a starter. Let's see if the Calgary defense can change that stat.
10-0 against those Alberta teams. And by the way, part two of Touchdown Kelowna will be against the 3-0 Edmonton Elks next Saturday. Rourke throwing, first down, coming back, getting it at midfield. That's Keon Hatcher with another catch and another 15-yard gain.
This is why Keon Hatcher, the leading receiver from a year ago, is so important. It's the little details that now the Lions are starting to get a hold of. He's going to run this, but watch at the top of the route where he comes back and then reaches back. He's not sure where that DB is behind him, so he makes sure he comes back to the football, reaches out, catches it with his hands for a big gain.
Couple of catches for 30 yards now for last year's receiving leader in the Canadian Football League, Keon Hatcher. Right at midfield. First down, back to Butler, finds some room. Miles Brown gets a wrap on him, but hauls him down after a 5-yard pickup.
Speaking of playing against teams you've had success with, or against, when you're looking at the Calgary Stampeders.
Not bad numbers.
Pretty good numbers for Keon Hatcher against this. You know, in talking to Dave Dickinson this week, he said he wants to see his secondary play better as well on defense, and that's why they moved Damon Webb back to safety, his familiar spot, and Zy Alexander's playing that boundary halfback.
2nd and 5 now. Flag is out. Pass is caught. That is Herji Mayala with his first with the BC Lions. He'd been on the practice roster, but with all the injuries, got activated for this game, originally drafted by the Calgary Stampeders back in 2019.
Might be early movement from Markel Lee, who
offside. Calgary number 8. Penalty declined as the gain is greater. It's first down.
Yeah, he tried to bait Nathan Rourke into thinking that he was going to come on the blitz, or at least a stunt. He's up at the line of scrimmage and right there, and he jumps into the neutral zone on the snap of the ball.
And Herji Mayala with the Argos last year at only 3 catches for 40 yards. He's got his first one with the Lions. Good enough for 13 and a first down. At the Calgary 38. Rourke to work again to the left. Caught again. Xander Horvath. And he breaks loose for another first down. They have an impressive drive going here now, but a flag does come out back near the Lions backfield.
Yeah, back where Nathan Rourke was standing in the pocket. Not sure if it's holding against the Lions, or was there any contact made?
Looks against BC. They're moving back.
They are moving back.
Holding BC number 60. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Dejon Allen playing that right tackle.
BC 50.
Clarence Hicks.
As you mentioned,
no contact. I know he was right by Nathan Rourke when that flag came out, but there's clearly holding there.
Hicks has been the sack star for Calgary so far, as you talked about. He's got all 3 of them coming into this game. So that pushes them back now on a 1st and 16. Rourke. Oh, pressure. Speaking of sacks, Charles Wiley moving in to get in on the act now, as all of a sudden the Lions are moving backwards.
Yeah, Charles Wiley is going to get in the rotation with Jalen Hutchings coming out every now and then just to make sure that they ease them back from their injuries. I'm talking about Arimilade and Hutchings. I don't want them to play every play on defense just yet. That's just a great bull rush. And little country. Is that friends in low places?
We'll say it is.
Looked like he was starting with the A chord. It looked like,
again, just like wine in Kelowna. I know where your mind goes. You see, think of music too. Rourke. Oh, nearly intercepted. Closest target down there is Mayala, but that's Jaden Grant, and just fell a little bit low. But again, that Calgary D line, they're getting some heat on Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, Miles Brown, and we haven't mentioned, playing at D tackle as well. He's going to be very close, and a smart play by Miles Brown to kind of let up as he gets close to the lower part of Nathan Rourke's body. Doesn't want to get called for the low hit there. So he kind of lets up, and his arm that did make contact was above the knee.
So just 1 sack registered. That one we just saw before by Charles Wiley, but the heat from Brown, and yeah, Calgary's defenses, we talked about in the pregame show, they've been very good at getting pressure on Nathan Rourke, even in that playoff loss last year, and kept him on his toes.
You know, Bob Slowick last year used to run those three guys with Flo Rimolotti in that first quick step. His first step off the line of scrimmage for Rimolotti reminds me of Cameron Wake. And that's saying something, because he was maybe the best I've seen off the edge.
That punt's off the side of the foot of Carl Meyer. Rolls out around the 35. A flag comes out because it goes out in the air. So a 13-yard kick, and you got a penalty tacked on for Meyer, who has been a great punter, but that one just got away from him. So
legal punt out of bounds. BC number 17. It's 10
in a beautiful city.
Where it went out of bounds. First down.
Kelowna, BC. First half. We'll be back.
It's back and more delicious than ever. A crispy chicken sandwich made with
Bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun. Bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun. Bun chicken, lettuce, mayo. Bun chicken, lettuce, mayo.
Tim's crispy chicken sandwich. A new take on an old fave.
A safer Ontario means playgrounds with no drug injection sites nearby. It means fewer cars being stolen thanks to more police officers and prosecutors. New jails so criminals stay behind bars. Public spaces without encampments. And bail reform that protects our neighborhoods. We're making every corner of Ontario safer to make all of Ontario safer. That's how we protect Ontario.
Hey, it's me. Happy birthday week. Still celebrating, huh?
Seriously.
Your powers are going to start kicking in now.
We haven't been formally introduced.
That's very impressive.
Supergirl.
Buck Martinez here with the Buck an Inch deal by Pizza Pizza. Get a 12-inch medium two-topper for $12, 14-inch, $14, a huge 18-inch, $18. Buck an Inch, only at Pizza Pizza.
Stampeders start 0-2, but they were close. That was a walk-off winner for Winnipeg after Vernon Adams had just scored the touchdown to put him ahead. And then this last week, Tommy Stevens in overtime to seal it for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Overtime loss, walk-off loss. I know what Milt Stiegel's going to say, Suits, and we mentioned this to him.
All that matters is the W.
That's right. Did they win? I could just hear him saying it. Did they win? No, they did not. But very competitive, very close, and looking to change things around, as is BC today. Adams. That's off to Mills. Betts on him, but not before another good pickup by Dietrich Mills across midfield and close to another first down. Well, yeah, the schedule ahead. So they've got this one in Kelowna, and then they've got the Argonauts and the Owls a couple of times too. Stampede Bowl is just coming up against the Toronto team that just beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Well, that's why this team, there's so much urgency for both these teams to get that W, and that's two 0-2 teams. The Lions are looking at Edmonton next, that have started 3-0, as you've mentioned. They don't want to look at 0-4 to start the season, either of these teams.
Spotted back at the 53, so a 2nd and 3. Adams throwing, looking deep for McAllister. They put him out there on offense, and just a bit too far. 3rd down ahead.
Yeah, they'll move him out, you know, in the offense in different spots, and here he's in that short side of the field in the slot. And usually when they put him out there, you're thinking from a defensive point of view, you're thinking bubble screen, stuff like that, plays like that, where they get him the ball quickly and let him use his elusiveness down the field. That was just a straight go route, and Vernon missed him, faded him away to the outside a little bit too far.
Mark Vassett in to punt, just a little too far now. They got a 57-yard field goal last time, a little further back. So Vassett to punt it, and Silas Bolden to field it, although it takes a hop and a roll, and no chance for Bolden as it rolls out of bounds just inside the 15. 39-yard punt for Mark Vassett. Adams trying a deep shot for McAllister, not quite. Still a 10-7 Calgary lead first half.
Let's cut to the chase. You don't need a truck that talks. You need one that shows up. Work days, game days, and these days. Because the minutes, the hours, and the days add up. And Ram is up for them all. Ranked the most dependable full-size truck by J.D. Power and backed by Canada's best warranty of 10 years or 160,000 kilometers. You better believe that nothing stops Ram.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm ever gonna make it home again. It's so far and out of sight. I won't be happy till I see you alone again. Till I'm home again and feeling right.
We know that the remarkable happens when East meets West, coming alive in our shared passions, our creative pursuits. And here in Sapporo, you too can discover the remarkable where East meets West.
Introducing the steak and cheese melt at Firehouse Subs. Stacked with new tender, flame-seared prime rib, melted provolone, caramelized onions and peppers, top sliced, toasted twice and extra melted. Because firefighters do things the right way. Only at Firehouse Subs.
Welcome back to Kelowna, and for the Lions, their 0-2 start has been attributed partly to the injuries they've had in the receiving corps. Last week, they began without 5 of their top 6 receivers. They've got a couple of those guys back today, but chemistry has certainly been a question. Now, look, for every quarterback, chemistry with his receivers is paramount. But for Nathan Rourke, it is a 12-month obsession. If you've seen his work rate, if you've seen him on social media, you know that this guy does not stop working. It is constant. He doesn't like taking days off, but he doesn't just throw to spot targets. He throws with Keon Hatcher and Justin McInnes and the like throughout the offseason. And there were some plays last week, you could see it. He's putting the ball in high spots to McInnes where he knows only he can receive it. So he does understand that chemistry has been a problem so far in the early stages of the season. And, you know, I asked him about one of the young guys, Nick Senecal. How was he able to get the number of targets that he got in the last game? 12 targets, 9 catches, 120 yards. He said it's because he was in the right spots. And he is having trust issues at times, particularly in the red zone, making sure guys are where they need to be, and it has led to some hesitation.
Absolutely, Farhan. We certainly saw that in Hamilton. All the injuries. He throws there and just leads James Butler, who dives and brings it down for a 4-yard pickup. Second down ahead.
It's a heck of a catch.
Sure is. For Butler. Lions are 2 for 6 on second downs now. Rourke again. That's caught by Hatcher. Big one, Keon Hatcher. Third catch for him, up around midfield, and the biggest one for the Lions today.
Nathan Rourke had to pay full retail for this throw. He's going to get hit as he delivers, and this is the chemistry that Farhan was talking about. And he's had it for a long time with Keon Hatcher. He gets hit, pulled to the ground, and Sarimolade working hard off the edge. 39-yard gain because that ball was put right where it had to be.
And gets it into the Stampeders side of the field at the Calgary 53 now, and that 39-yarder. The Keon Hatcher Rourke is 10 of 15 for 144 and a touchdown and a pick. Back to Butler on the ground. No, he throws it and completes it.
I was with you.
I was going to say, I was biting on that one, too.
I was with you, partner. I think the whole broadcast booth was trying to stop the run there. At least talking about it. What a great play fake, though, inside to little RPO action for Nathan Rourke and throwing against the flow, against the grain.
Yeah. Great
play fake, and that Calgary defense bit as well.
Yeah. I'd be trying to tackle Butler there.
I'm gonna sprinkle on Butler if you're thinking.
Here we go, double pass. Back to Rourke from Hatcher's going to take off with it. And Nathan Rourke can run. And he's still running inside the 20 and down to about the 16 before tackled by Kyle Wilson. So it was shaping up to be a double pass over to Hatcher, who just gave it right back to him, and a 21-yard reception there for Nathan Rourke.
The Kelowna crowd loves this one. So ball throw behind the line and back to Hatcher. He's allowed to throw it again. And there was no question it was coming back to Nathan Rourke. He did have a deep receiver, but it was James Butler running down the middle of the field, and Rourke's getting excited, trying to get the crowd with him.
He's figuring in 2 stats right now in the passing game. The ones he's thrown and that one he caught. 1 for 21 for Nathan Rourke. And the Lions in business, pressing deep. Down inside the 20. In the red zone they are. Trailing by 3. Pressing for more. Taking to Butler and throwing it to Jermaine Jackson. Oh, keeps his feet and scores another Lions touchdown. What an effort by Jackson.
Another RPO, 1 pass option with blocking coming down this way. Watch the play fake to James Butler. That freezes the linebacking core, starting with McKellee. And that opens up Jermaine Jackson in behind him. That's a couple RPOs on this drive. Not to mention the double reverse throw back to Nathan Rourke. Oh, Buck Pierce going way deep in that playbook.
He sure is. And you can tell with the expression of Rourke, that's more like it. This is what they've been waiting to see as the offense starts to open things up here now. And for the first time in this game here in touchdown Kelowna with Sean White in the point after the home side in BC. The Lions have the 14-10 lead with 3:43 on the clock before halftime.
Football, even though this is at the professional level, has still got to be fun. You still got to have a ton of fun. And in this drive, Buck Pierce, I think, was trying to send that signal to his team, to his offense, that, hey, we're going to call some plays that we worked on all week and maybe all year since training camp, like this one. Double pass. And how about Keon Hatcher with the Oscar as he turns to look like he might throw it down the field and then goes back to Rourke. He gets down inside the 20. RPO action to Jermaine Jackson. And he's in the end zone, and all of a sudden the Lions are having fun.
I just wonder how many more yards Jackson could have got. Just barely balancing, holding the ball in one hand, and just got to get to the end zone.
That's a low center of gravity.
It sure is. Great effort by Jackson, just trying to squeak out another couple of yards to get pay dirt. He does. And again, Jackson getting a shot in that offense, too, with all those injuries we talked about in the receiving core of the BC Lions.
Let's go.
His second year out of Idaho. He had 3 catches last week. Big one for a touchdown there. Lions lead. Meyer kicks off. This is coming down to McAllister, just inside his 20. Tyreek McAllister, and is tackled there, just across the 35. Little rough stuff and a flag coming out afterwards as Parker McKenna got pushed down by a Stampeder.
Is that a little retaliation from the Stamps? Or is it the initial hit?
Well, the flag came out after McAllister was down.
It was late, wasn't it?
After the play, 15-yard misconduct foul against Calgary number 47. This is unrestricted. First down Calgary.
Announced by Tim Croker. That's George Adoko getting tied up there with Parker McKenna.
I didn't realize how
that's the push. McKenna, a little bit of acting himself there on the way to the ground and flailing his arms a little bit. It is FIFA, and there's soccer going on in the lower majors.
All in the salesmanship. Adams looked like he was going to get rid of it. Instead, he takes off. Brings it down and ends up with a good pickup across the 30.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of this from both quarterbacks. Because you know both these quarterbacks can do this effectively. More than effectively, they're great at it. And you know, when your back's against the wall, you're 0-2. Neither of these teams, we've talked about it at length, want to start 0-3 to the season.
This is a 3-minute warning.
Thought we may see a little more running from the quarterback position as they kind of do whatever it takes to try and get the W.
Adams gained 9. Stampeders lining up in short yardage. But they do give the 3-minute warning. Touchdown Kelowna. We got a ball game here. Getting closer to halftime, and the Lions lead it by 4.
The BetRivers app welcomes online casino players with our mouth-watering menu of popular and exclusive games.
I'll have the Mo Mummy. Oh, no, 7's Fire Blitz. Ooh, how hot is it? Nope, Mo Mummy.
At Bet Rivers, our slots are known to be exciting. It all adds up to a tasty buffet of speed and incredible excitement. Bet Rivers, welcome to your online casino.
Hello to your cell phone. How can I help?
I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please help me?
Montana's Smoking Rib Fest is back. All-you-can-eat ribs, the new Hogfather Part 2, and the Backyard Bacon Brisket Popper. Plus Coors Light for just $4.99. Come on in, this feast won't last. Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99. Your favorite pizza at our best price. It's Domino's best deal ever, but it's not forever. So order now at Domino's.
Back in Kelowna, Kate Burness in the panel coming up at the half. Wait a minute, what's going on? Is she dating another mascot? That's Leo. Looks like they're having a good time. Wait a minute. Whoa. Leo? Oh my goodness, Leo has a little baby lion. Kate didn't know about that. My goodness. What is going on here? Yeah. And by the way, I thought she was engaged to Gaynor. I hope Gaynor isn't seeing this.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I know social media has just exploded.
Oh my goodness.
It has exploded.
Kate Burness, although she got a bit of a surprise there. See the little baby lion.
I think that's it for Leo.
Yeah. Geez, you got mascots around the league looking for a date with Kate, and I think Leo just.
I think he blew it.
Blew his chance. Kate, the panel though, thoughts on this one, and maybe on that too, coming up at halftime.
And enjoying some nice Okanagan wine.
Yes,
too.
We noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Quincy Vaughn, short yardage to keep this drive going late in the first half. And that is the first down this quarter for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, you know, and I think they may have gone away a little bit from Diedrich Mills, especially on first down. First quarter we saw a steady dose. In fact, it was Mills on a little swing pass off script that VA hit him for the touchdown for the Stamps. See if they make these adjustments in this drive.
Stampeders trying to get their lead back before halftime. Outside the 30, dumping it off to Eric Brooks, and he hangs on. He went down though and had to get back up untouched and picks up a few more yards.
Yeah, so first down, and it starts out like basically play action to Diedrich Mills here because they want to hold the Lions defense, don't let them get too wide. And if not for the stumble, that might have been an 8-9 yard gain right there.
He had some space, did Eric Brooks. Out across the 36 now, and a second down after that 4-yard pickup. 2:20 in the clock and counting. Calgary down 4. Adams running out of time, under pressure, throws it and completes it to Clark Barnes.
Oh, what a throw.
Was it ever? And Barnes' first catch of touchdown Kelowna.
Now he makes this look easy, but I'm telling you, move it to your left like this, a right-handed quarterback, and watch Vernon Adams in trouble here and just sling it, running backwards, falling away from Clark Barnes. He knows he's fly and die, or just dying on the sideline in the zone look. But that throw, moving aside, it made it look easy. It's anything but.
What a great play by Vernon Adams, up now at the 46. 2:06 on the clock. First down Calgary, and underneath the Mills, who takes it, gets a head of steam going, and another good pickup with a late flag coming out as well as he gets it to the Lions 50.
That's going to be a face mask on Ben Hladek, I believe, on the tackle, and it just seems like good things happen for Calgary when Diedrich Mills gets his hands on the ball. It doesn't matter if it's handed off to him or
Major foul, face mask, BC number 46, about 15 yards from the end of the play, and it's first down.
Ben Hladek, who played his high school football in Vernon, BC, which is only about 50 kilometers away from here, away from Kelowna. 70 tickets he needed for this one.
70 for him.
Yeah.
Talked about Kelowna Thomas and Jacob Bonds having played here in Kelowna. And a capacity crowd. They added a lot of seats for this one, but another costly penalty for the Lions. It's all the way down to the BC 35. Just under 2 minutes to go till halftime. Quickly to Barnes. And he gets some space. Good little stiff arm to free him up to get down to the 20. A 15-yard pickup for Barnes.
We talked about this being the rematch of that semifinal last year, and how about the game for Clark Barnes in that one? Over 100 yards. I thought that basically a breakout game for him. I mean, this is year 3. It's about then when receivers, especially Canadian receivers, kind of find their footing. I think the sky's the limit for Clark Barnes. Second game this year. He missed the first one due to his injury.
In his 4th year at Guelph. Well, here's Adams again underneath the Philpott. Jalen Philpott with his first catch of this game, and it gets them down near the 5. It's a 1st and goal coming up here for Calgary.
That leading receiver, Philpott, who was just going to sit down in the RPO look. We saw Nathan Rourke do this twice in the BC touchdown drive. He pulls Jackson Finley. That flat route pulls him outside, and that opens up the curl.
His first catch of this game, his 9th of the season. And this one is Calgary knocking at the door. 1st and goal. Adams faking and tossing it to Brooks, who was open, but just a bit too far. Could have been a Calgary touchdown.
We've all done this where you have a wide open guy and you aim the ball rather than just let it go. And I think that's what VA looked like. Because he immediately looked like, I aimed it. He's wide open. I mean, he walks in.
Knew it right away. 2nd and goal. 1:14. Can Calgary retake their lead for halftime? Adams to the end zone. Touchdown! Jalen Philpott with his first touchdown of the season on his 2nd catch of this drive. And Calgary answers right back.
Lots of Calgary fans here, by the way. It's a pretty quick flight from Calgary to get over to Kelowna. And a really important drive inside of the 3-minute warning to retake the lead. Here's the end of it on the post. Then changes in the secondary with Josh Haggerty playing safety. A little late to get there on that post route. I think this drive was saved, though, when that throw by Vernon Adams way back at the beginning of it.
Rolling out, as you say, right-handed quarterback, and rolling out to his left, a tough throw to help keep things going here. An impressive drive, capped off with that one from Adams to Philpott. 7 plays, 89 yards, and 2.5 minutes, and a terrific response. Both of these offenses have something going here in this 2nd quarter now.
Well, and there's 1:02 left.
Yeah.
In the first half. Let's take a look, and we'll go back to show you that this drive from the beginning. Little stumble there from Brooks. Got it started. He got about 3 there. But the key throw was on 2nd down. When Vernon Adams is flushed out of the pocket, throws going the wrong way, keeps the drive alive, and that's how it ends.
And a couple of passes to Philpott. One down at the 5 to set up goal to go, and then he gets the touchdown, grab his first touchdown of this season. Good season for the Philpott, certainly for twin brother Tyson as well with the Alouettes. 1:02 on the clock. Silas Bolden going back, and maybe the scoring is not done yet before halftime. See what Nathan Rourke has in store.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Tyson Philpott was leading the league coming into this week.
I believe you're correct. Great start.
Jalen catching up.
Bolden on the return. Ball's out. And could the Stampeders have a shot to add to the scoring now? Indeed, on the fumble by Bolden, a flag comes out. A player still down for the Stamps. They had good coverage. It was Ben LaBrosse coming in to force that fumble on Silas Bolden.
Come on.
All turnovers are
return holding. Calgary number 31. Penalties declined. It's first down.
He
said Calgary. I think he meant BC.
Yeah, I think he meant BC on the holding call.
Sorry, BC 31.
There you go.
Penalties declined. BC 31.
Yeah, that ball is clearly out.
Silas Bolden, and hit hard there by Jackson Sombak, who forced the ball out, and Ben LaBrosse. A couple of good Calgary special teamers.
Good for Jackson Sombak. I mean, he started the year at free safety, and with the secondary last week, talking to Dickinson, saying he wanted to make some adjustments there and move Damon Webb back to safety. That meant Sombak went to the special teams and became the backup defensive back. And of course, Zy Alexander playing the boundary halfback where Webb was playing. So, you know, a player has a choice at that moment. Demoted from the defense. Do I pout about it, or do I do the best I can on the teams? And that was a fumble created by Jackson Sombak.
Forcing a big turnover, by the way. Another backup defensive back, Ashton Miller-Melanson, was the injured player. The rookie out of Queens taken off. So here we go. Stampeders may not be done. They're up by 3. They get the turnover. Starting inside the 35 of BC. Adams open. Caught down inside the 15, and that's Eric Brooks. Found a little pocket to wait for that ball. And here come the Stampeders. "21-yard gain, 44 seconds to go until halftime."
On the line of scrimmage, Eric Brooks. It's that deep out route.
Down to the 13, 34 seconds. Trying for the end zone again, and that one is caught just inside the 10. That's Russell and the tackle of Tevin Jones with his first catch of this game.
Well, the playbook's pretty much wide open for Vernon Adams here. They want to make sure they're efficient time-wise, but
down to the 10 after a gain of 3. Second down and 7. Toss down at the 5. It is caught. It is Mills. It was a bit high. Haladic in on the tackle. Still not a first down. A 3rd and short coming up here.
Leaving the offense out there. Not surprised inside the 5. Dave Dickinson's thinking about it.
Here we go. 3rd down and 1. Quincy Vaughn. And gets the first down. Excuse me, that's Vernon Adams who stayed in, not the short yardage quarterback. Adams on the carry. And looks like he has enough for the first.
Yeah, it didn't look like even the defensive line or linebacking corps, certainly for the Lions, was alert to the fact that they were about to snap the ball. I think they might have been waiting for that substitution.
So we got a 1st and goal, 14 seconds until halftime. Calgary just went ahead by 3. Chance for more now to Mills, to the goal line, not in. Down to the 1. 8 seconds until halftime.
Timeout, Calgary.
Calgary will call the timeout. Put the short yardage group in there.
Ben Haladic on the tackle.
The one play that you go back to is that catch by Dedrick Mills right around the 10-yard line. When Vernon Adams was in trouble, he reached up. If he doesn't catch that, it's intercepted. It's going the other way. He had to tip it to himself. That kept the drive alive, and now they're on the doorstep.
BC defense needing a stand. A 3-point game. Calgary's looking to open it up now. Take advantage of that turnover on the kick return. Stamps led 7-0. BC came back. Calgary led again. Now it's Quincy Vaughn in. 2nd and goal. Vaughn diving. Awaiting the signal of a touchdown. Calgary touchdown. squeezing the lead on Quincy Vaughn's 4th rushing TD of the season.
Well, Calgary Stampeders, who drive the field inside of 3 minutes to take the lead and then add to it by taking advantage of a Lion turnover. And I don't think there's any question he crossed. Look at the official jumping right in there, getting in there. Let's go. Let's get out of the way. I got to, yep.
Big body of Quincy Vaughn, yeah, lunging it across and just needed to break the front plane, get the ball to break the front plane of that goal line. And there's a fired up quarterback for the Calgary Stampeders, Vernon Adams Jr. 6 plays, 34 yards after the fumble on the kickoff by BC. Point after, Mika Tamny. And we got a 24-14 Calgary lead all of a sudden with just 3 ticks left until they head off to the dressing room.
Yeah, now I correct me if I'm wrong, but the Lions won the toss.
They did.
And took the ball. So Calgary should get the ball to start the third quarter, second half. Can add to it with a nice drive to start it.
And that was on a possession that obviously they weren't expecting until that good hit by Sombach to force the fumble picked up by LaBrosse. So Kate and Enoch and Milt and Chezzy love to see the panel traveling, and they love being here in beautiful Kelowna, BC. And then I have a lot to talk about this half, and maybe a little bit to talk about Leo the mascot too.
Yeah, I didn't
got to get that story.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll be on the panel at all or no. He's done. He's done. He's out.
Mascots don't say anything.
Long gone.
Kate would not have him on now anyway.
No. So you're saying that Gaynor might still be in the picture?
I don't know. I'm wondering if Gaynor's watching.
Okay. Well.
Kind of heartbroken at the same time. Here are the Lions on the return. Bolton again, he's hit hard. Good coverage on kickoff by this Calgary Stampeder team. As they stop him in his tracks, hangs on to the football. Anton Hay in there for the Stampeders. But that's halftime. And the BC Lions impressively came back and took the lead. But since then, all Calgary with a couple of touchdowns. That one we just saw and the one before then, Jalen Philpott.
Yeah, a little play action to Dietrich Mills, who I think was really important in that first half for a lot of different reasons. Opened up Philpott. His touchdown throw was the long drive inside of 3 minutes that gave Calgary the lead. And another catch on that drive.
And as you say, that capped off some great work by especially Vernon Adams and using his receivers well. I mean, he was really distributing the ball. We saw Brooks, we saw Clark Barnes, seeing Philpott for the first time, and he gets the touchdown to Jalen Philpott. Now standing by with Farhan Lalji.
Jalen, let's start with a touchdown. It was the first of 2 late in that half. Just how big was that for momentum after you guys fell behind?
Yeah, it's big. You know, big emphasis this week has been play a full 60 minutes. You know, last 2 L's, we haven't played a complete game, so it's not looking like we played a complete game out here today. But it's the focus is come out in the second half and just keep going.
For you, you're a BC guy. You've spent most of your career in Calgary, but to get a chance to come up here and play in a setting like this, how much fun are you having?
Oh, so much fun, man. I had this circle on my calendar right when BC announced it. So thankful that, you know, we got to play against them here, and I just love coming back here.
Thanks for this. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, this is Jalen Philpott, used to doing things at BC Place, where he also played in high school, getting a chance to do it up here in Kelowna. Kate?
All right, Farhan, what a perfect night for football it is, by the way. But right now, these Lion fans, they're scratching their heads because of the end of that. Quarterback alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stiegel, and all of a sudden, it's Calgary at the end. And it's nice to see Jalen Philpott get his first TD of the season. Obviously, he loves doing it here as well. As we're watching this first half, Davis, though, with the struggles that the BC secondary has had, we were really confused of what the plan was for the Stampeders offense. But then they changed their tune right at the end, and it completely changed for one Vernon Adams Jr. Probably a lot of that in the second half we should expect.
Yeah, by looking at the game, you think that Calgary came out with a game plan that they wanted to run the ball. They felt that was the best opportunity for them. Even though the secondary, we know there's some injuries in that secondary. Milt, what you kept saying all the half, you kept on saying,
throw the ball.
Why not throw the ball? BC Lions have a beat-up secondary, throw the ball. Obviously, BC defensively, that's the game plan for them right now. But look, this BC defense, we're talking about up into the 3-minute warning. Calgary Stampeders, 1 for 6 on second down. This BC defense has been excellent. You can't ask more for that. And then their longest reception, all their receivers, the longest reception, a 6-yard reception from the receiver, Brooks. So, look, BC has done what they asked to do. Don't give up big plays. Come into the game, don't give up big plays, and be good on second down. They did that. But now they're down 10 points. Now they have to amp up the aggression because down 10 after this performance from their defense is not what I expected. You told me that they put up this performance on defense, they'd be winning at halftime.
Yeah, and Kate, you're talking about what is the reason for it. And to your point, a lot of times coaches come into games and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, but you got to come in with a little bit of fluidity, knowing and understanding that things can change. If Dedrick Mills is not having the same type of game that he had the previous week, you got to get the guys involved. And you can't shy away from putting the pressure on Vernon Adams Jr. He has to be the guy. We saw earlier on, the BC Lions were shooting themselves in the foot, throwing the ball deep, and it's a PI right here, as we can see. PI right there, and you get closer to the red zone already. And then got even closer later on. Guess what? Offsides, that led to a touchdown. And so Vernon Adams Jr. has to put his team on his back, and the coaches can't shy away from doing that as well.
And before I get to my point about Nathan Rourke, 2 stats I just want to tell you about why the Calgary Stampeders should be throwing the ball. Coming into this game, opposing quarterbacks' incompleted passes were total of 9 against the BC Lions. Wow. Bo Levi Mitchell needed 15 passes to throw 5 touchdowns. Why wouldn't you drop back every single time and throw the ball? Dedrick Mills would be a receiver. That's how much I would be throwing the ball.
You'll come out of retirement, you'll be a receiver.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I can catch a pass.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Just wanted to get that out there. And the BC Lions, they have a lot of problems, but Nathan Rourke is not one of them. And I think I'm his biggest critic and his biggest fan because I know what he's capable of. And when he's on top of his game, he can be the best in his league. And so far in his first half, he's looked pretty good. Yes, he did have the interception in the red zone, but he shook that off, and since then, he's really been balling. He's excited to have his #1 guy back because we know what he can do when Hatcher's back. And look at this play right here. I love this. Not only because he made a play, but watch when he gets up. Watch the emotion he shows. Watch this. This is letting everyone know, let's go, I'm our guy, I'm going to get it done. They still have a long way to go. They still have a lot of problems, and it's not just him. It's a lot what's going on defense. But as long as Nathan Rourke is the BC Lions quarterback, this team has a chance. Yes, it's going to take a lot, but I give this team a chance anytime he's at my quarterback.
Yeah, you talk about the emotion, Mill. That's the biggest thing for this team right now. You find yourself in an 0-2 hole like this. You, as the leader, Nathan Rourke as the leader, this is what you want to see. Yeah. This is what this whole team, because it's contagious.
Yeah, you've been talking about it in the pressure on Nathan, or Nathan has more pressure than most. You're right. He has got to come out now because they're going to be in trouble. They're going to now have to put bodies in to stop the run. I'm talking about BC's defense because they're down 10 to stop the run. And now that secondary that we talk about that has injuries, that's beat up, they're going to be left alone a little bit. So I don't think Calgary's going to slow down. The reason they passed the ball more at the end, they were in no huddle. There's a minute left and a half. Ding, 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 ding. They could probably do that when they want to. I expect that. But Nathan is going to have to make plays off script.
Yes.
He's going to have to be Superman in the second half for them to come back and win this game.
For me, it's indecisive what these BC Lions are going to do on defense. Are they going to go after Vernon Adams, or are they going to sit back? We talk about those young defensive backs. If I'm Mike Benavides, I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to put those guys in one-on-one situations. We're going to allow those receivers to go up and make plays with them. I'm going to make Vernon Adams, that offense, earn every single play. They're going to have to nickel and dime it down the field. I'm not going to allow.
But now they're giving up 8-play, 10-play drives that are 7 and 8 minutes. I know what you're saying. I agree with you.
Yes.
But now if they do that, let's watch for that. Because if they do that and don't leave those DBs alone, you give them long drives and take up a half a quarter.
You talk about blitz or not blitz, play coverage, you got to play coverage. There's too many injuries, too many changes in the back end to try to, and again, for me, from the beginning of the game, I've been saying Matthew Betts has to show up. 1 sack already in this first half.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually elevated his game.
Absolutely.
We talk about Rourke so much, too. We did call out Matthew Betts in that pregame, too, but he's been great in that first half, too. But it can't just be him.
No. Can I add one thing?
You may.
We look at this roster. We keep saying what they should do, shouldn't do, rush, don't rush. this roster for BC, their defense, I don't think they have the guys right now. That's just my opinion. I don't think they're talented enough right now, and it puts Mike Benavides in that defense in a real tough spot.
All right, we got ourselves a football game. The Calgary Stampeders currently up 24-14. Much more coming up right after this.
Tim's new Poppin' Frozen Quenchers explode with popping candy. Like a rocket meets an asteroid. Or a symphony of fireworks you can drink. New Poppin' Frozen Quenchers. Try all the flavors only at Tim's.
TaylorMade's QI 4D drivers. A faster carbon face. Improved aerodynamics. A revolutionary React shaft system. And advanced adjustability. TaylorMade's fastest, most fittable drivers. Book a fitting and find your new fast at Golftown.
The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening to your stomach.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm ever gonna make it home again. It's so far and out of sight. I won't be happy till I see you alone again. Till I'm home again and feeling right.
Welcome to Shell, where your rewards go further. Now Scene Plus members, Scotiabank, and Tangerine cardholders from all across Canada can earn more, save more, and redeem more rewards at Shell to help you go further too.
Chevy drivers need a truck that shows up the same way they do. No hesitation, no excuses, so they can go where others won't, make their own way there, and always get it done. As long as Chevy people keep showing up, we'll keep building trucks that do the same. Get an $8,000 cash purchase credit on a 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Custom Trail Boss. Visit your nearest dealership today. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
My life wasn't always like this, but thanks to Sunshine Coast Health Center, it is now. If you were like me when my life was falling apart, call them today. You won't regret it. Their individualized treatment and team of professionals will help you design a life you love too.
Michelin innovates on the road and far beyond by manufacturing prosthetic leg belts that allow for greater flexibility of movement. Michelin, motion for life.
Entering historic territory.
We're exactly where we want to be. Now let's go for it.
Canada's World Cup journey continues in the round of 32.
A wave of red lifting this team to new heights.
Where it's now win or go home in a showdown with South Africa.
This is a World Cup. Every challenge means everything to these players. Such intensity.
FIFA World Cup, round of 32 on TSN, CTV, and Crave.
This is a moment for this country.
Going 0-2 now. They don't really have an identity.
Missed tackling on defense, not executing on offense. Yeah, it's frustrating. We're not playing really good football right now.
Wasn't up to the standard there. Just not acceptable. No other way to say it.
Some really tough games coming up. Are they going to be able to get out of this hole? It's going to be difficult.
It was too easy at times. I obviously got to look at it and go from there, but yeah, it wasn't winning football.
We're talking about teams with a lot of pressure on them right now. That would be the Ottawa Red Blacks, who have yet to win a game so far this season, and it doesn't get any easier as they take on the Montreal Alouettes, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And I'll tell you this, there are going to be some great fans there. There are some incredible fans here in BC, in Kelowna. They have showed up, a sold-out crowd here at the Apple Bowl Stadium. And guess what? The tailgate as well, completely packed. It's fun inside, it's fun outside. Second half action coming up next.
FanDuel is setting the tone this season as the exclusive home of CFL same-game parlays. Build your same-game parlay with all your favorite football bets, like rushing, passing, and receiving yards. With 3 downs, every drive means more. Bet CFL same-game parlays exclusively on FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook and casino. FanDuel, play your game.
The Popeyes Big Deal Combo. Choose 2 delicious tenders or a chicken slider with small fries and a drink, plus a biscuit for just $5.99. You may even feel like a big deal when you get a deal this big.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
Still waiting to figure this out? End the waiting game. Felix connects you with a doctor online so you can get a weight loss treatment plan that's right for you. Get started for free at felix.ca. Felix, we'll see you now.
With the help of mini wheats, this family filled up with a high-fiber breakfast. From there,
Few are willing to do what must be done, but not for themselves. No, for others. They are the real ones, and they drink a real good light beer. Slim and Clear 2.0. Real ones know.
Get 10 crispy, craveable hot wings for just $10. Only for a limited time. KFC. It's finger licking good.
FIFA World Cup 2026 lives on TSN. And there's a summer offer you can't miss.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Plus, the TSN app takes you inside the tournament, delivering 24/7 coverage. And you can even watch every match in a local language of the competing team. TSN, home of the FIFA World Cup. Get 3 months of TSN for $59.99. Offer ends July 20th. Subscribe now.
Halftime at the Apple Bowl and touchdown Kelowna. The BC Lions had taken the lead late in the first half, but a couple of Calgary touchdowns put the Stamps in charge. Here's Farhan Lalji now with Lions receiver Keon Hatcher.
Keon, you finally score to take the lead late in that half, but then you give up 2 touchdowns right after that. How demoralizing was that going into the break?
Man, we just out there making mistakes, bro. They really haven't done nothing to, slow us down or to just beat us for real. We're just making mistakes. So we clean it up, man, come out in the second half and play some ball.
Where is this offense at right now? You've had guys in and out of the lineup with injuries. Chemistry is tough. How comfortable are you as a group?
I feel like we're very comfortable. I don't think they've done anything, like I said, just to stop us or slow us down, man. We just making mistakes, and we got to clean those up if we want to win this game.
Thanks for this.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro.
Keon Hatcher, 4 catches, 85 yards. Yeah, he and Rourke had something going late in that first half, but it was really Suits the fumble on the kickoff return after the Calgary touchdown that put the Lions in a big hole.
Yeah, a handful of those mistakes that Keon Hatcher talked about. They got to clean up the details and take care of those details and play some ball.
And remember, they won the toss and wanted the ball for the first half, so Calgary got the lead late and gets the football too. Carl Meyer with the kickoff. Tyreek McAllister back there with Ludwig Choquette McAllister gets it just outside his 20. Second half underway at the Apple Bowl as McAllister's tackled there by Riley Pickett. Vernon Adams Jr., 12 of 18 for 124 and a couple of late touchdowns.
Well, that last drive inside of the 3-minute warning, not the one after the fumble, but the one just before it where they took the lead, was maybe his best of the game. And I'm with Milt. I mean, if you listen to Milt at halftime, he was talking about VA, just get out there and chuck it. Keep pushing this Lions secondary. It's a makeshift secondary. Injuries across the board. Go after it.
It's been vulnerable. The passing yards, as mentioned, 124 for Adams. They start on the ground in the second half, and Mills has had a good first half. The veteran middle linebacker Darnell Sankey, a little chat with Mills after he tackled him.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean you abandon the run altogether, or else play action doesn't matter anymore. But I agree. Just the secondary for BC with the changes back there and moving Jackson Finley up to the linebacking core, essentially, the nickel spot, they call it.
Now, that said, that was 5 more yards for Mills, who now has 26. He does have 46 yards receiving. They used him in the passing game and just on short passes, and he scored the touchdown to start things off. And he's carrying the football again on a 2nd down and 5. And he's trying to push his way along, still well shy of a first down, however. We'll give him 3 yards there, and a 3rd down coming up.
Some of those run plays, too, keep in mind, when they're in the RPO type of action, it's the decision of the quarterback. And based on the way Vernon Adams was walking off the field there, I would suggest he probably looked at that again and went, you know what, I should have pulled that one.
Should have listened to Milt. Yeah. Their 4th 2 and out of this game. Mark Bassett is back inside his 35 to punt it away. And the Aussie sends this one where Bolden will have to take it off the hop around his 5. Looked like Bolden thought that might be going out of bounds. He gets the bump from his teammate Parker McKenna before he gets tackled. And the Lions will start fairly deep in their zone with Nathan Rourke. 12 for 17, 176. But some mistakes that you talked about, Suits.
Well, there was an offside to keep that drive alive, and then that pass interference call. Those were 2 little ones. Then in the red zone, Nathan Rourke throws an interception. There's an offside. Kept Calgary on the field. A shanked punt that goes out of bounds, giving them really good field position, the Stampeders. And then inside of 3 minutes after the Stamps had just driven the field to take the lead, they get the ball again because of the fumble.
2 turnovers. One of them took points off the board. The other one led to a Calgary touchdown. Here's Rourke to start the second half. Checking it down underneath to Butler. And he gets 2, maybe 3 yards on that play.
Now with these 2 quarterbacks, 10 points is nothing. Buck Pierce knows that. It really isn't. It goes back and forth. Think back to that semifinal.
Yeah, they had a 13-point lead late 3rd quarter. Calgary came back. I think 2 to start. Saskatchewan had the lead in week 1 or week 2, and that was the opener for both of those teams. BC came back before the Riders broke their hearts again, but not as close in Hamilton last week. 4-man rush, Work with time, goes deep and it is caught again. Keon Hatcher with another big one. He had a 39-yard reception in the first half, and that's another long one to put them into the Calgary zone down to the Stampeder 51.
Veteran receivers like Keon Hatcher, they don't have a tell when the ball is going to arrive. They just keep running, they run their post, and then the ball surprises the DB.
He is over 100 yards receiving. And a little more there for Jermaine Jackson, who scored a touchdown in the first half. And another first down, 2 passing plays, and very quickly, the Lions offense moving deeper in the Stamp zone. That one to Hatcher was 38. That one was 21. Faking to Butler, dumping it off for Justin McInnes, who was injured last week, lower body injury, but healthy enough to play in this one as he takes it down to the 20 and 11 more yards for the Lions offense.
Yeah, different look. Usually that is James Butler coming out of the backfield, but a little cross buck action with James Butler going the opposite direction, trying to freeze the linebackers and shooting McInnes out into the flat.
So back into the red zone. This is exactly what the Lions need after that momentum shift for Calgary late in the first half.
Needed the stop on D to get things started. Got that. Now can they finish it?
And this is for Rourke. Second straight very impressive drive for the BC offense. Butler carrying Arimilade down at the shoe tops and does get him tackled after he picks up a few more yards down closer to the 15.
Yeah, you got to believe with that D line and with Hutchings in the middle too, and the rotation of Charles Wiley, who's made some plays, it's going to be tough to run in this area for BC. Not much room in there, is there?
Not a whole lot, especially when you got Jalen Hutchings there.
He kind of blocked two gaps.
One of the stars in the CFL, defensive tackle, a rookie last year, and injured and missed their first game, but came back last week. That overtime loss against Saskatchewan. Big 96, 2nd and 7. Rourke under pressure, and down he goes, and look who gets him.
On cue.
Jalen Hutchings with a little help from his friend Clarence Hicks. But it's Hutchings who gets the sacks. He said that to us a few days ago, Suits. He wants to get in on the sack act.
Well, that first game back, he had 3 defensive tackles, and you know, with the tackles, he was just trying to ease his way back into the lineup because of that hamstring injury. Hamstring injury that really was the major problem in his tryout in the NFL with Minnesota. He comes back from that, signs the contract, and on cue gets a sack.
Sean White for his first field goal try of touchdown Kelowna. And as he so often does, pops it through. He hit the walk-off winner for BC in the playoff game against the Calgary Stampeders last November. Just a beautiful day it's turned out to be in the Okanagan Valley. 24-17, Calgary still leads.
We're 5 minutes away. Let's fly in Jose.
Copy.
Does anybody have eyes on Graham or Jose?
A deal so good, you'll find any way to make time for it. Get 2 Big Marys, 4 wings, taters, and 3 sauces with Jose's Double Deal. Mary Brown's Chicken. Crave Canadian.
With the first ever all-electric trail seeker, we can visit all our favorite places on one charge, like this trail, and this trail, oh, and these trails over here. Introducing the first ever all-electric 2026 Subaru Trail Seeker. Seek every trail.
Here it is. This could be a big one. There's the cross. He rises to meet it, and it's a car!
This tournament, every corner kick goal is your chance to win a car. When the ref signals a corner, post hashtag on every corner, hashtag sweepstakes on X, and tag Enterprise. And you could win this.
Making good on losing your fantasy league? Tough call. Easy call? The clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light. Easy call.
Oh my God.
We were talking earlier about the many connections between Kelowna and the CFL. Another one, Suits, Jay Christensen.
Yeah, who played both for Calgary, Edmonton, and the BC Lions. And we ran into today, played for the Okanagan Sun, and when we talked to him today, still involved with the Sun in sort of a management capacity, booking fields, things like that. But beautiful country here. And have I mentioned? Never mind.
Wine country. So I hear, Glenn Suter.
You know that there's $1 billion tourism dollars spent every year in this area?
Little toss inside, and it's read nicely. Jackson Finley on the tackle of Jalen Philpott for lost yardage.
Yeah, it was read nicely. That's exactly what it was, because he's coming up here and he wants to contain, but then watch the redirect when he sees what's developing in front of him. Wants to get after Vernon Adams coming off the edge from the nickel position, but as soon as he sees that underneath toss, redirects and is fast enough, quick enough to pull down Philpott.
Well, the Lions had just driven down and picked up a field goal to get it within a score. They need their defense to respond, as you talked about, and there's a response play and a loss of 7 yards. We get a 2nd and 17 for Vernon Adams in a 4-man rush. Pressure's on him. He steps up, and then he gets it off to Tevin Jones, getting pursued by Joshua Haggerty, but he gets out, run across the 45, still well shy of a first down, and the punting unit will come on.
Well, it's good defense that plays off. It's more like an umbrella look. The linebackers are even 10 to 12 yards deep here for the Lions, and they're saying to Vernon Adams, by their alignment alone, to dump it underneath. And he does that to Jones, or was going to run himself. Either way, because of the loss on first down, the BC Lions get the mission accomplished.
And the 5th 2 and out for Calgary in this game. They still lead by 7, but they're sending the ball back, although
flags again.
Finger pointing time, and remember, it's a 3rd and 5 here. A more important penalty, if it goes against BC, it could be a Calgary first down. Buck Pierce, Dave Dickinson both want to see which way this one goes. Been some very costly penalties against the Lions in this game.
Yeah, not a whole, not tons of them, just
the
bad timing. Yeah.
Well, no sign of Vassett leaving, so could this be going against Calgary? Punting unit is still on.
Offside. Offside. Defense.
Oh, here we go.
Penalty makes it a first down.
There you go. No, now the punting unit heads off. It is against the Lions. Another tough one to extend to Stampeders' drive.
Yeah, Buck Pierce wants to talk to the official about this. You know, by the timing of it, you know, I think the officials in real time were waiting for the replay center to take a quick look at that and make sure they get that call right. But that's the second one costly that keeps Calgary's offense on the field.
A furious Corey McDermott there, the special teams coordinator of the BC Lions. And so as a result of that penalty, Calgary's offense stays on the field, and Dedrick Mills is going nowhere. Brick wall. Pushing him back. 2nd and long.
Ben Haladic out of UBC steps in that hole and puts Vernon Adams in 2nd and long.
Ben Haladic, as you mentioned, from nearby Vernon. Knows this part of the province very, very well. All his football in BC. Played for the T-Birds. College veteran with the Lions D. Pressure coming on Adams. Gets rid of it! And no, a chance too for Philpott, who had fallen down. This is the ball was arriving. A shot, but no, and a 3rd down and 10 coming up for Calgary.
That's a blitz from Ronald Kent out of the secondary. He's going to come from this side of your screen, and he gets blocked up nicely by Dedrick Mills. That extra second gave Vernon Adams a chance, and he just underthrows Jalen Philpott.
So this time, Vassett does punt. Silas Bolden is chased back to his 10. 50-yard punt. Bolden to the left, trying to find the edge. Gets around it, and has a decent return up there for the Lions. The offense heading back on the field. Calgary had a chance for another big play that close. Philpott down, just cannot hang on. 7-point Stampeder lead, 3rd quarter in Kelowna.
Collect one of 7 legendary cups with the FIFA World Cup meal. See McDonald's.ca for qualifying meals.
The thing about hair is, even if it starts here, it'll end up there, or under that chair. But the new Swiffer Sweeper Pro is made to get hair anywhere. So here we go. Get the stray strands in the corner, the dog hairs in the den. Get the haircut cuttings or beard buzzings. Dust and hair trapped and locked so nothing ends up on your sock. Brooms just push and move, but Swiffer's microscopic fibers give you a clean that's mom approved. The new collapsible, storable Swiffer Sweeper Pro. Love it or your money back.
Hungry now? Now? Now?
What about now? Oh, hungry, oh, Henry.
My life wasn't always like this, but thanks to Sunshine Coast Health Center, it is now. If you were like me when my life was falling apart, call them today. You won't regret it. Their individualized treatment and team of professionals will help you design a life you love too.
Introducing new Crest Clean Breath. Unlike a regular toothpaste, it doesn't just mask bad breath, it neutralizes bacteria for long-lasting, cleaner breath. Get that clinically proven Crest Clean Breath.
Historic day for Canadian sports tomorrow. Canada's first ever match in the knockout stage of the World Cup, facing South Africa as the round of 32 begins. That is tomorrow, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, on TSN, CTV, and on Crave as well.
Come on, Canada, let's go.
They lost to Switzerland, but they were surprised by the loss by South Africa to Korea, setting up that matchup. Looks like some World Cup fans in the crowd here at Kelowna. And on that pass, and Damon Webb breaking it up as Rourke was looking for Keon Hatcher again. Well, speaking of the World Cup, of course, a couple of Canada games in Vancouver, and who's there? See Rene Paredes on the left, the injured Calgary kicker, and Folarin Orimolade enjoying some action in Canada's last game.
Hey, you don't have to be a soccer fan to love this and what's happening in our country and how it is bringing the city together, and it's been just great, safe, fun celebrations downtown Vancouver. I know in Toronto too.
Big crowds.
Yeah, big crowds.
And just the fans, not just Canadian ones.
Yep.
Everyone involved. What a spectacle, and what a play here by Clarence Hicks. Moving in. Flags come out. Hicks, who has 3 sacks on the season, coming into this game, and was right alongside Hutchings on the previous one, gets that one.
Yeah, one of the strategies I talked about a little bit in the first half with Clarence Hicks and now Flo Orimolade and Hutchings
Legal
all
contact
together.
on the receiver, Calgary number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty. Makes it a first down.
Well, that's going against Derek Moncrief. He doesn't agree. He's trying to get Dave Dickinson to go ahead and challenge it. We'll take another look at it. That's the intended target, I believe.
On Keon Hatcher, legal contact on the receiver, so the penalty moves it up to the 29, negates the sack by Hicks. Here's Nathan Rourke in the 1st and 10. More pressure, but he does have time, and he checks it down to Xander Horvath, and a great tackle by Anthony Johnson in the open field, still shy of the 30-yard line.
Last year in his rookie year, Xander Horvath with that big game against Calgary. I mean, talking over 150 yards in that one.
And had big play earlier. The touchdown in the first half. But not much there. Nothing at all. A 2nd and 10. From the BC 29 down by 7. Another 4-man rush. Hicks trying to get to him again. He can't. Wiley can't. And Rourke gets rid of it and completes it to Hatcher. That's up across the 40 and another BC first down.
Hey, I don't mind that. I don't mind
He's going to escape from that great D line up front from Calgary. They tried to run a stunt and got jammed up. And that left a slow response to the contain.
Flag comes out on that completed pass from Rourke, getting it to Hergy Mayala. As mentioned, his first game as a BC Lion, inserted with all the injuries to the receiving corps.
Calgary number 25. The gain is greater. Penalties decline. It's first down.
Jaden Grant called on the penalty, but they don't need that penalty. They get the gain by Mayala. Nathan Rourke closing in on 300 yards passing for the 23rd time in his career. That catch by Hergy Mayala has 2 for 24. He had 3 for 40 in 7 games with the Argos last year. The former Stampeder. Here's Rourke rolling out to his right. Heat's coming. Orimolade. He gets to him. Stampeder D-line again. A shared sack there is Rimalotti in his first game, first taste of the action since last September.
Let's take a close look at a little bit of the work from Rimalotti. Remember I mentioned early the first step off that line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped. Remind me of Cam Wake, former BC line, went down to the NFL for a lot of years, was a Pro Bowler down there. He's got that first step that puts tackles in a bind, and that was an example of it on that last play.
Now that's a high praise comparison to Cameron Wake, one of the best rush ends the CFL's ever seen, the former BC Lion. After the sack and setting up that screen, and that is in the hand of the rookie receiver for the BC Lions. That's Senecal, Nick Senecal, who had a big breakout game last week in Hamilton. His first catch today.
Nice looking player, 24 years old. You mentioned University of Hawaii for Nick Senecal. And what was interesting to me is taking advantage. I asked Buck Pierce about him this week in our conference call, and said he just kept showing up in camp. He just, like, we do a drill and there he was. We do 8-on-8, there he was. You know, he just kept getting in the coach's viewpoint. That's how you make the team.
Carl Meyer with the punt, but yeah, Senecal just couldn't help but be noticed. And he was drafted in the 5th round, 45th overall.
Yeah, that's what's interesting too about this, is that there were 8 wide receivers picked before him. Lions, I think, we got a keeper there.
Carl Meyer with the illegal punt out of bounds, so that'll be a penalty in Calgary's favor. What a beautiful scenic. The heart of the Okanagan, Kelowna, BC. We'll be back.
Every home is a self-portrait. This is Nina's, where eclectic feels effortless. Create your home portrait. HomeSense.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99. Your favorite pizza at our best price. It's Domino's best deal ever, but it's not forever. So order now at Domino's.
This is your captain speaking. As your hosts, we wanted to welcome you to Canada. Though our players are going to be anything but welcoming. Canada is a peaceful place, so enjoy the quiet and take in the natural beauty. We Canadians are famous for our hospitality, so don't be surprised when we take care of you.
Bienvenue au Canada.
And we hope you regret your stay.
Let's flash back to 1959. The BC Lions, 5 years after their franchise was born, coached by Wayne Robinson, held their training camp in Harvey Road Field in Kelowna, BC. And that year, Suits, for the first time, the Lions made the playoffs. They won the Grey Cup 5 years later.
I'm fascinated by the drills. I'm locked into those drills. Those were outstanding. Well, now the training camp in Kamloops, that's one of the great things that Amar Doman, the owner of this football team, has done, is brought the team to new fans, potentially new fans. Kelowna, Vancouver Island, Kamloops.
Kamloops just a little bit north, training camp there in Kelowna. They are truly the BC Lions. And they trail as Vernon Adams goes to work here. He completes one to Clark Barnes, who had a couple of key catches for Calgary late in the first half when they retook their lead.
Yeah, working out there on the corner, and just a timing out by Clark Barnes. Looked like VA wanted to go play action, but either Dedrick Mills went the wrong direction or he did, but it didn't matter because the timing was still there.
Barnes in his 4th year out of the University of Guelph. Late 3rd quarter. Still a 1-score game. Lions have picked up a field goal, but still trailing by 7. And here's Dedrick Mills grinding his way along close to midfield, maybe 4 yards.
By the way, the Lions are going to stay here throughout the week, and they're going to use that time. There's Amar Doman, the owner of the team, is going to use that time to just sort of get together, get the communication at a higher level. TJ Lee, one of the leaders that was a late scratch for this one, told us this week. He said that's been our issue. We've got to communicate better. We've got to be playing on the same page.
Saw Gary Peters there as well, waiting to come back. They've been missing him. Here's Adams, left, deep, Hatcher catches it for Tevin Jones, excuse me, and it is a Calgary touchdown. Tevin Jones just falls in for the last bit, 56 yards. And the Stampeders adding to their lead again and celebrating in style. Soccer style for Tevin Jones.
Penalty kick is good. And even though it's not 30-0, it's a big touchdown. And what a catch. Fighting off double team out there. 2 Lion defenders going for it. And Tevin Jones, big body, he goes up and wins the fight. Tips it to himself. What a catch.
Tevin Jones had a quiet game coming into this one, but makes it a whole lot louder for the Stampeders there. The point after from Mika Tamny, and you can hear there are Stamps fans in this crowd in Kelowna, as you talked about. One quick strike. Vernon Adams to Tevin Jones. Bobbles it, catches it, goes in untouched.
Eastside Mario's Daily Deals are here with a purchase of a beverage. Join us on Monday for all-you-can-eat pasta for $19.99. Wednesday, buy any dinner, entree, or pasta and take a pasta home free. That's right, free. Thursday, 3-course dinner for 2 for $50. Only at Eastside Mario's.
This is Julie and Jeremy, CIBC clients and designers. Their ambition was to go all in with their side hustle, a clothing brand to celebrate the land they love. But money.
We were already stretched so thin.
That's when their advisor came in. CIBC understood what was at stake for them and gave them the confidence to take the leap. Proof that with a great idea and the right advice, anything's possible. What's holding your ambitions back? Let's take the next step together. CIBC, ambitions made real.
With Manulife Cover Me Insurance, Molly and Sid are covered for everything from sensitive teeth, prescription meds for high blood pressure, relaxing massage, and pre-existing conditions like diabetes. Call 1-877-COVER-ME or visit coverme.com for a quote.
Let's cut to the chase. You don't need a truck that talks. You need one that shows up. Work days, game days, and these days. Because the minutes, the hours, and the days add up, and Ram is up for them all. Ranked the most dependable full-size truck by J.D. Power and backed by Canada's best warranty of 10 years or 160,000 kilometers. You better believe that nothing stops Ram.
A 3-play, 77-yard drive capped off by this. Vernon Adams to Tevin Jones.
Tevin Jones needs great concentration there. He thinks he's going to be hit. Looked like Ben Haladic was the high player, going to come downhill to make the hit and just missed him. And then the soccer celebration, or football, or yeah.
You can call that football too. But yeah, little kick to the left there in the open net. And more importantly, the Stamps with Jones and the point after. That's 7 more on the board. 31-17 leaders. Bolden, as they finally get him tackled around the 40, but yeah, late third quarter, 40 seconds on the clock, 14-point difference. The BC Lions, who dominated Calgary a year ago, have some work to do if they're going to keep up that trend.
They have some work to do, and right now the Calgary defensive line has really settled in.
We've talked about speculating what kind of difference that might make. Last week getting Hutchins back, this week getting that man, Folarin Orimolade. After the Achilles injury last September, has not played, and he felt ready to come back in the first couple of games, but they wanted to be sure. They held him off until this one. Faking to Butler and throwing to Horvath, who just lost his footing and then gets pushed down by Markel Lee after he fell down and got up.
It's interesting how Remolade there redirected, and this is a little bit of his game. Watch him on this. He'll step up. He makes sure he hops down towards the line of scrimmage so he can take that gap away and then redirect to make sure that Nathan Rourke can't get out and around him. And that's the quickness of a Remolade that can play both. He can play that run inside and he can play contain on Rourke.
Last play, third quarter. BC with the football at their 45 and a 2nd and 6. Rourke looking deep, and it's too far for Hatcher, and Johnson is there. So when the fourth quarter begins, Rourke will be off the field, and the BC Lions are going to have to kick it away to Calgary. That quarter had been looking better. They got it to within a score, but ultimately Stampeders already leading heading into the second half. Won that third quarter as well with that touchdown pass from Vernon Adams Jr. to Tevin Jones. 1 quarter to go, and Calgary leads it by 14.
It's back and more delicious than ever. A crispy chicken sandwich made with
bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun chicken, lettuce, mayo, bun chicken, lettuce, mayo.
Tim's crispy chicken sandwich, a new take on an old fave.
Behold, the DQ $10 Blizzard Meal Deal. Full-size foods that really satisfy, including a mini Blizzard, like the limited-time drumstick with peanuts. DQ, happy tastes good.
Chevy drivers need a truck that shows up the same way they do. No hesitation, no excuses, so they can go where others won't, make their own way there, and always get it done. As long as Chevy people keep showing up, we'll keep building trucks that do the same. Get an $8,000 cash purchase credit on a 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Custom Trail Boss. Visit your nearest dealership today. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Your favorite summer competition is back. Get ready to kick off the season. To cheer on your team. To wear your colors. To feel the passion. To believe. And get ready to go! A new season of The Amazing Race Canada starts Tuesday, July 7th on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
It's Canada's game.
Here are the numbers through 3 quarters with Calgary leading by 14. You know, you look at the passing stats and BC's ahead in that department, but just some critical stats there working in the Stampeders' favor.
Yeah, I thought in that third quarter the Calgary defensive line started to settle in. You know, and it's not a surprise that Remolade would take a little bit of time. That was an Achilles, a serious injury, all the way back to last September, so it's been a while, and he was going to ease into it. Hutchings, that's his game 2 for him, and Hicks, and they settled in that third quarter, put pressure on. Those 3 sacks, huge, trying to make sure that Nathan Rourke can't make a miraculous comeback. They got a quarter more to go. Some work still to do, but I thought they took control in that third quarter.
Both of these teams looking for their first wins of the season, and it's looking a lot better for Calgary right now than for BC as the fourth quarter begins, and the Lions and Carl Meyer in to punt it away in a 3rd and 6, standing inside his 35. Tyreek McAllister backpedals, gets it after a 50-yard punt at the 15 and doesn't go much further. Jacob Bond, who played here in junior football. Member of the Okanagan Sun, as mentioned, he and Calgary's Kalon Thomas won a junior championship 4 years ago in this field.
Yeah, special shout out to their head coach Travis Miller. 25 consecutive winning seasons for the Okanagan Sun. Of course, those Canadian Bowls between '82 and '06.
Deep look and close for Philpott. Good close coverage right there by Deontay Williams. But Vernon Adams are up by 14 and taking a kill shot right there.
Yeah, trying to get that kill shot with the out and up or the wheel, depending on what happens on the outside with Barnes. No, it's just a little bit of a out and up. Philpott brothers have been making those catches all season long. But Deontay Williams, that short side halfback, just did just enough.
So from the 22 and a 2nd and 10. Adams under pressure, and down he goes. The sack for the BC Lions. Levi Bell's the one who's come in and does it, and that's his first sack of the season.
I believe Darnell Sankey is going to get involved here, and he's one of the guys that flushes Vernon Adams. Good pressure and push up the middle. That flushes him over to Levi Bell.
Bassett with the punt down to the BC 40. Silas Bolden picks up about 5 yards on that return after a 55-yard punt. Fourth quarter. The Lions have the ball back, and they're trailing by 14.
You never forget your first home. For us, it was a small town called Welland. In 1909, our great-grandfather opened the first Leon store with the same goal as every Canadian, to support his growing family. A place where people feel comfortable, where customers always come first. And for over 100 years, you have made us feel like family. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes.
People will try anything to make their beer cold. Viral hacks. Use outdoor fridges. Freezers too. Oops. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. Because people don't just like beer. People like cold beer.
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99. Your favorite pizza at our best price. It's Domino's best deal ever, but it's not forever. So order now at
Domino's.
Welcome back to Kelowna, where the entire CFL family has been rallying around Ava Miles, the daughter of Stampeders defensive backs coach Baron Miles and his wife Jennifer, who is in Arizona at this time dealing with a severe condition called gastroparesis and median arcuate ligament syndrome. This began when she was 16 years old. It began with sudden vomiting, and she lost 30 pounds in a month. She's now 23, and her days generally consist of being in bed and trying to receive nutrition from a catheter in her chest. So right now, the family's in position where they can get some care for her, some surgery and some treatment, but they've got to go from Arizona to Cleveland to get the treatment, and their insurance company isn't covering it. So they've started a GoFundMe page with Wally Buono and his wife Sandy supporting it and trying to get the CFL family involved. Both of these clubs have been supportive of it, as has teams like Saskatchewan and Montreal, where he played previously. So they're at a point where she's healthy enough where she can make the trip to Cleveland without having to get on a medical airplane. The procedure is scheduled for August. They're trying to raise $400,000 for the surgery itself and the additional post-operative care. So many people have supported. Jennifer, the wife who's quit her job so she can basically be in full-time care, really does want everyone to know just how much they appreciate their support, but they've still got a ways to go as they try to save their daughter.
Thank you for that, Farhan. Thinking then of Baron Miles, and a reminder, too, that it's a GoFundMe set up for Ava, and you can go to the Calgary Stampeders website to get more information on how you can donate. An injured player down on the field for the Calgary Stampeders. We'll be back in a moment here at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna.
We practice this. Stick to the blood. No improv, no theatrics. Just head the ball.
These players are doing whatever they want all the time. And we need to control this. He's not even listening to me. Don't talk to me. Guys, we're filming you.
Estoy a esto.
I knew you, but I didn't know your name. Hey, what are you doing?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Come on. 5 minutes. Going down to 4. About 3. You're at 1.
Can we leave?
Tim's new Poppin' Frozen Quenchers explode with popping candy. Like a rocket meets an asteroid. Or a symphony of fireworks you can drink. New Poppin' Frozen Quenchers. Try all the flavors only at Tim's.
The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening to your stomach.
We're at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna, BC. Jacob Bond, who plays for the BC Lions, used to play for the Okanagan Sun here. What a thrill for him. You see, he'd signed that inside the room where how cool is that he ends up playing as a pro football player.
Well, I mean, and a guy who was on that championship team in 22 with the Okanagan Sun and started out as a linebacker. First of all, wide receiver, and then he switched to linebacker, and the Lions have made him a fullback. Buck Pierce said, you know, in a pinch, he could go right back to linebackers. Great, versatile player for us. 1st and 10, and on a draw to Butler.
The Stampeders, with a flag coming out late, have that all wrapped up. Looks like probably a loss of a yard. And the penalty going against BC.
Holding BC number 65. 10-yard penalty remains first down.
Yeah, no matter how this ends up, the Lions and Buck Pierce in the post-game interviews will be talking about cleaning things up. And it's not just penalties, just little decisions. I go back to the opening kickoff.
Yeah. Where it was like a pooch kick by Calgary.
The Lions really didn't move to it.
And they nearly,
almost recovered it.
Almost got the ball. See the number of penalties, but as you talked about before, it's also the timing of those penalties that have really cost BC. This one sets up a 1st and 20. Rourke. And no, Damon Webb. And stepping in front of Keon Hatcher. And it's a 3rd and 20 coming up here for the Lions.
Yeah, it looks like Damon Webb is just going to find that primary receiver. He slides from the inside. It looked like he was playing almost his own, and then just said, I know where he's going. He's going to his #1 guy in Keon Hatcher. Did well to not put his hands in Hatcher's face and draw a penalty flag.
Excuse me, a 2nd and 20 coming up on that incompletion after taking the penalty.
Damon Webb was a Western All-Star at safety, so that's why they wanted to move him back last year.
On the 2nd and long, and Rourke will not get a chance to get rid of it. Once again, pressure from that Calgary defensive front, and it's Miles Brown this time. We've seen Hutchings, we've seen a Rimolade, seen Wiley, and it's Brown picking up the sack there, and now 3rd down and even longer.
Yeah, they have a little stunt going here with Brown going that way and a little twist up front. Just 4-man pressure. Brown comes all the way around the corner. Give a little assist to the secondary there. Looked like Rourke had initial time.
Here's Tyreek McAllister for a 50-yard punt. Got some room. He can break it away. He's doing it again. Tyreek McAllister. A touchdown return in back-to-back weeks. No flags. Calgary touchdown.
And that is your backbreaker.
90 yards, went 120 and a missed field goal last week. And Dave Dickinson had talked about the need to have a game-breaking returner. It's been a while since Calgary's had one. He certainly is one.
Well, and we asked Dave if he was thinking about putting him more in the offensive game plan as well, which he really would like to. But boy, he doesn't want to take away from this skill. Great open field speed, back-to-back returns for a touchdown, a missed field goal, and a punt.
And a backbreaker for the Stampeders. McAllister, by the way, his first punt return touchdown of his CFL career. He had one other season before this with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Talking about this earlier, his touchdown came on a missed field goal, and now he has this punt return touchdown.
Yeah, you're not catching him from behind, that's for sure.
See the importance of the return game, like for the Toronto Argonauts last night early against the Saskatchewan Roughriders with Janarian Grant, one of the best in CFL history. Of course, Gizmo Williams ranks at the top, but we've seen the explosive side from McAllister. Saw it with Hamilton 3 years ago.
He's going back-to-back, baby.
He is. And they didn't win the game, but as you were mentioning, that missed field goal return for the touchdown, the Stamps right back, and they ended up losing in overtime to Saskatchewan. Went away to the NFL for a couple of years after that good season he had with the Ticats, his first. This is just season number 2 in the CFL for Tyreek McAllister, in his 3rd CFL return touchdown. This one's made it a 38-17 game. Calgary completely in charge. And on that kickoff, it's Bolden.
Tyreek McAllister, back-to-back weeks. Here it is, missed field goal by the Riders, and he takes it 120 yards. And if he gets past that first wave, now he's out running angles with his great speed. And a very similar one on a punt return moments ago. That was 120. Let's add 90. And like Tyreek mentioned when he looked right into the camera, back to back, baby. And the BC Lions, I think they just found another issue.
Yeah. The coverage on that, pretty tough against Tyreek McAllister. And so BC has the football up at their 33, but they're in a big hole now. They're down 3 touchdowns, 21 points. And we're in the 4th quarter with 10.5 minutes to go. Nathan Rourke going to be throwing a whole lot more now. And that is Keon Hatcher with the catch.
To speak about Milt Stiegel's opinion, another 300-yard game for Nathan Rourke, which he and Milt does not care about. You don't get the W.
Ahead of Doug Flutie, you see Anthony Calvillo on that list as well, the all-time leading passer, and Flutie, who was an MOP just about every year he was in the Canadian Football League. On that list, and Nathan Rourke, another 300-plus passing game, but far more importantly to him is how his Lions are down right now and facing an 0-3 start this season.
And staring at the next opponent being the Edmonton Elks at 3-0 coming in to Kelowna.
Looming is 0-3 versus 3-0 in part 2, a touchdown Kelowna for the BC Lions. And the Stampeders on a shorter week will have Stampede Bowl next week. They will host the Toronto Argonauts at McMahon Stadium. They're trying to hold on to this big lead now and get their first victory of the season. Another 4-man rush. Rourke airing it out down the left, and good coverage there for the Calgary Stampeders. That is Ashton Miller-Melanson, the rookie out of Queens, knocking that one away, and a 3rd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, Miller-Melanson is in perfect position and can't play it any better. And the most important part about this throw, or this play by him down the field, is that he doesn't panic at the end. Ball in the air, ball about ready to arrive. Most rookies, and we saw BC rookie do it in the first quarter, panic there and grab the receiver.
So the Lions have to punt again. Another good punt by Meyer. And here comes McAllister, and he's not going anywhere this time. No big return that time around. Good coverage, BC, but handshakes there for Miller-Melanson, breaking that one up for the rookie. Denying McInnes, as Calgary's in complete control here in Kelowna with the ball up 21 points.
If I eat poulet rouge every day and change like one topping each time, how long would it take to taste everything? Centuries?
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99. Your favorite pizza at our best price. It's Domino's best deal ever, but it's not forever. So order now at
Domino's.
Few are willing to do what must be done, but not for themselves. No, for others. They are the real ones, and they drink a real good light beer. Slim and Clear 2.0. Real ones know.
Let's be honest, finding the right paint color can be hard. Do you want a warm color? What complements the floors? What does your mom think?
I don't know.
It's okay. We've got all the tools you need on Bear.ca.
Hidden gem. Great choice.
I know.
Bear, exclusively at the Home Depot.
Save big this summer and stream the hottest shows, movies, HBO exclusives, and select Sports Now on Crave. Scan the QR code on the screen and get 40% off Crave with a premium annual plan. Back here in Kelowna, fourth quarter, Lions are down. Stampeders start their possession deep in their zone from their 12, but they're up 38-17. Vernon Adams Jr. And off to Eric Brooks to the right. He turns it up and he gets it to about the 17-yard line. Second down ahead.
Extended running play there for Vernon Adams. It's starting to rain a little bit here. Often does in the summer in the early evening. Vernon Adams wanting to now grind the clock, move it out of their own end as the #1 goal here on this drive. But this is the team in Calgary that I think people coming on into the season thought it's going to be a very good football team that will challenge in the West. But they had a few key injuries that they had to recover from.
Adams again under more heat, and down he goes, and a flag comes out. He is sacked. It's one of the new Lions defenseman lineman, Casey Sales, the one to get to him, the ex-Ticat.
Legal contact on a receiver, BC number 9. 10-yard penalty makes it a first down.
But another penalty against BC, another costly one.
Yeah, Vernon Adams never got it out of that pocket. It was on Jalen Philpott.
Adams has thrown for 207 yards, but 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. 1st and 10 after the penalty. And a little draw there to Dedrick Mills. Breaks a tackle, steps back, and just keeps going.
Great effort.
Excellent effort there by Mills to pick up 9 more yards to set up a 2nd and short.
Just love watching these type of runs that, you know, aren't the 50-yarder or anything like that, but it's just great effort, tremendous balance. You know, that toughness to take on those hits. Great vision there to pop outside and then just keep his feet moving, keep grinding, and even that last little push. He had 3 defenders on him and got an extra yard.
Up to 41 yards rushing.
With a 3-score lead.
Yeah, they'd love to grind it out with 26 now, wouldn't they? 6:38 on the clock. Back to him. Keep running, first down. Keep running across the 45. They'll be happy to just keep doing that as this clock ticks away. 6 more yards for Dedrick Mills, who is the CFL's rushing leader in 2025.
Yeah, on the all-time list. It's a pretty big name that Vernon Adams is closing in on.
Warren Moon, dominant quarterback with the old Edmonton Eskimos in their dynasty years, late 70s, early 80s. Wasn't around that long, ended up leaving after the 1983 season. But Vernon Adams looking to pass him in the all-time list. Under 6 minutes to go, we may not see, as you talk about, much passing from that Calgary offense. They can keep working it along the ground. That time it's Philpott. Jalen Philpott with the rare running touch, just across the 40 on that second down play. First down play.
Sorry, Rod. What's great about VA right now, though, I think, is he's playing with another step in his confidence level from watching him over the last couple of years. One of the issues was consistency. And whether or not, you know, he would have those big games where we'd go, wow, this guy's ready to go. And then there'd be 1 or 2 plays and you'd give it the side eye or shake your head a little bit. he has eliminated those plays. I mean, this is another 26, 25 attempts tonight without an interception. You're now at over 140.
To Brooks. There's a lot of work after the catch, trying to get closer, but not enough for a first down. They'll have to punt it away, 7 yards, after they actually lost one in the previous play. But under 5 minutes to go, and Adams and Calgary still in great shape, up 3 touchdowns.
You know, and that's part of it. It's staying aggressive as the quarterback, but also eliminating those decisions, those 1 or 2 bad decisions. And I think Vernon Adams, you know, when we talked to Derek Moncrief on defense, we talked to him this week and asked him about the confidence level in their quarterback and Vernon Adams, because it matters on defense too. Everybody's looking at that guy for that leadership.
Mark Bassett to punt from his 35. It comes down short, but it takes a good hop for Calgary as Bolden backtracks after taking it, and he does get tackled just inside his 25-yard line. Talking about the World Cup before, the final day of the group stage at the World Cup continues tonight. Algeria taking on Austria, while Jordan faces Leo Messi and the defending champion Argentina. Kickoff 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on TSN. And then, as mentioned, Canada getting ready for the start of the knockout stage. First time in Canadian soccer history for the men up against South Africa. Back here in Kelowna, and the Lions will have another game against the Edmonton Elks next week here at the Apple Bowl, but they're behind in this one with under 4 minutes to go. Throwing, caught, and a nice catch too for a first down. And that's Jermaine Jackson, who had a nice touchdown just scrambling into the end zone in the first half.
Well, it's not really an upside, but I'll call it an upside. When you have early injuries in the first couple of weeks, young players get an opportunity.
And Jackson is one of them. 3.5 minutes. Rourke. Rimolade couldn't get to him. Rourke just takes off and slides at midfield, trying to get something out of it. Very mindful of the clock now because they need to get into the end zone in a real hurry.
Jermaine Jackson, one of them. Nick Cynical, another one. I mean, it's experience that they can take advantage of as the season goes on. Even
Kieran Poisson,
Kieran Poisson for sure, who
got
missed
in early
tonight, but yeah.
This is the 3-minute warning.
After that injury to Seven McGee in Saskatchewan early on, and then now he's hurt. 3-minute warning is given. Buck Pierce's BC Lions trail it by 3 touchdowns.
Bud Light, now that's an easy call. With its clean, crisp taste, Crispy Boy season has arrived. Bud Light, easy call.
Your baby doesn't love you anymore.
If I eat poulet rouge every day and change like one topping each time, how long would it take to taste everything? Centuries?
A $1,500 coat rack. Didn't even learn smoke on the water. Babble? Can she even speak a word of Spanish?
Lo siento, ¿qué dijiste?
Wait, really?
Son solo 15 minutos al día.
Start learning today at Babbel.com.
Week 4 in the Canadian Football League will wrap up tomorrow. Yes, our first Sunday nighter of the season. It's the Ottawa Red Blacks taking on the Alouettes live from Percival Molson Stadium in Montreal, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, live on TSN. Red Blacks making news, trading Drew Brown to Winnipeg, signing McLeod Bethel Thompson, who had been with the Alouettes last year, but Ryan Dinwiddie staying committed to Jake Mayer at quarterback as they look for their first win of the season. And the Owls coming off their first loss, dropping an overtime game to the Edmonton Elks last week. BC football, 3 minutes to go. Second down and 4. Stepping over the pressure, throwing it deep, got it. Jackson with Delaney Robinson on him. For the Lions, they have to work quickly, and they're close to the Calgary goal line.
Pocket gives him a lane to step up. He climbs the pocket, and just drops a dime over the top to Jermaine Jackson, who, well, they're on the 1 yard line anyway, so you can't get any closer. But looked like a horse collar tackle. Looked like a horse collar at the end of it as well.
Ball's at the 1 yard line. It's first down.
So they call Robinson for that, for the horse collar. For Jackson, 5 catches, 137 yards. He had the touchdown in the first half. Got some numbers, the ones that matter most now to the Lions, just cutting into that Calgary lead.
There's the horse collar. Can be jersey or pads from behind.
Xander Horvath in. Short yardage at quarterback for BC. Left side jumps, gets into the end zone for a much-needed Lions touchdown. 2:44 in the clock. Trying to reduce this lead to 14 points.
A little bit of patience from Horvath. Shuffles to his left and then up over the top.
Most teams have a short yardage QB they go to. BC went to this last year with Horvath, and it's worked out well in the situation.
It is, and it's secure, and it's a running back, but
I know where you're going.
If it's not a quarterback, the threat of possibly faking it, dropping back and throwing a pass disappears for the defense.
So they're going for 2, a 15-point difference. Trying to make it a 13-point difference. Handing off to Horvath. Well, he got the touchdown as a quarterback. He gets the 2 as a running back. And they have reduced it to a 13-point game. 38-25. 2:43 to go.
Good run at it from that waggle spot for Jermaine Jackson on the big throw down to the 1 yard line. Shaking and baking down the field. Just a little inside move, back to the outside. He's got Robinson going back and forth and into a speed turn. That sets up the touchdown by Horvath. A play later, and then a 2-point convert on the RPO, and it's the give to Horvath underneath.
That took a minute 18 seconds. And I know what you're going to say here too. 2:48 in the clock. I'm just thinking it's not only 2 scores, it's 2 touchdowns. Do you even consider something shorter onside now?
Just 2 possessions, but it's the timing. Can you kick it deep, get the 2 and out, and the stop?
Yeah, count on your defense right now.
But you need the ball back twice.
Right.
So it's going to be onside, it looks like, for BC.
Yeah, just because not only 2 scores, but yes, both of those scores have to be touchdowns.
If it was just on the other side of the 3-minute warning,
yeah,
probably different strategy.
So Sean White in, and they'll try this onside kick.
Timeout. Timeout, Calgary.
So the Calgary Stampeders call a timeout there because they want to see what the Lions did with their formation, their onside kick team. What did it look like? Were they going heavy one side? Were they leaving 2 or 3 trailers on the other side? Craig Dickinson taking care of special teams. He took a look at it, and now he makes sure he gets the right guys out there. And the front line of blockers, their job is to block, distract anyone trying to recover the ball, and leave it for the next row.
Craig Dickinson, of course, a former head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Looking after specials here with the Stamps. Oh, they go the other way. Sean White, and it is caught by Jalen Philpott. So Hand's team was out there for Calgary, of course, and he had everyone thinking he'd be going to his left, but he turned around. But well done by the Stampeders to get the ball, and a flag is out.
Yeah, left sure hands back there. They left Philpott back there with an offensive lineman. I think it was Christy Nakanu, and see, he's just going to try.
Offside. BC number 34.
Make sure that Jalen Philpott has nobody in front of him, or at least time to make that catch, but it was a little bit deep, and that's where Philpott just easily controlled the football. Calgary football. Now they can run the clock down.
Yeah, it was an offside against BC, but no need for that for Calgary. They take over after Philpott on the kickoff takes it. So they have it down at the 38 of BC. Back to Mills. See if they can just grind out the rest of the way. He's stuffed up there. Second down and long. Vernon Adams. You talked about it, Glenn. I mean, he's had days where he's lost, where his passing yards are double what he has now, but managing the football well, making some great plays. 214 in yardage, 3 touchdowns, but no picks.
Yeah, I think he's really found that comfort level, the balance between pushing the ball, sometimes into tight windows, sometimes the deep ball, just like this one. Even though he sees coverage, he has a chance to give his receiver an opportunity to make the big catch. And again, hasn't thrown that interception. And now going back to last year, 140.
Throwing it again, it's complete again.
Just again, confident.
Eric Brooks. Yeah, Adams has looked sharp.
Well, I mean, I know he's a veteran, and you expect your veteran quarterback to be confident, but it just was that little bit of inconsistency that has haunted him throughout his career. And I think that whether it be working with Dave Dickinson for a couple of years, working with this receiving core, the comfort level with his O-line, all that combined, it just feels like he's taken another step in decision making.
Well, it's an old narrative now. We talked about it in the playoff game last year as he hands off to Mills here. He's fighting for a little more yardage, but wrapped up and taken down by Darnell Sankey, but with a flag out. But for Adams, I mean, it was a bigger story last year coming back to BC. He was the Lion. He threw for over 4,000 yards with BC in 2023, his best season statistically. But when Nathan Rourke was ready to come back, Vernon Adams became expendable and thus ended up with the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, and think about that semifinal last year between these two teams.
Yeah.
Vernon had more yards passing than Nathan Rourke did.
And led them back.
Yeah.
To a tie. I mean, it ended up being a BC walk-off. It was that close.
So it's, you know, it's been building in Calgary, and you can see the growth, even if it's small steps, but those are important.
Illegal low block, Calgary number 19. It's a 10-yard penalty. It remains first down.
And then you have balance in the run game with the last year's leading rusher, Dedrick Mills. Then you add a returner for field position and a defensive line that can get a stop and make it impossible for opposing quarterbacks. You got a chance. You got a team that's going to compete for the division.
And just a couple of minutes away from getting their first win of the season after that 0-2 start, where yes, they weren't wins, but they lost as close as you can come in a walk-off and in overtime, bouncing off the hit, and then spinning around and getting it down to the 30 is Dedrick Mills, adding to his totals. That on a 1st and 20.
Timeout, BC.
Well, I just thank you, Kelowna, first of all, as we wrap this up, get down to these last 2 minutes.
By the way, you talked about some people like the Lions staying.
Yeah.
A lot of people in our crew be working the game next week are going to be staying here in Kelowna. How about you?
Well, I'm going to stay and possibly help out in some things here.
Yeah.
But also, if there's an extra day, there is some serious trout fishing in this area.
Yeah.
So, there, you know, I might just cast a line or two.
Yeah.
But this is a good idea for the BC Lions, especially where they're at right now. For them to stay here until next week when they're going to play Edmonton. They're going to hang out together. They're going to watch video together. They're going to do some barbecues as a team.
Good
get
team
to know
bonding.
each other. Yes, absolutely.
Well, you got, you know, it's just such a beautiful part of this country. 2nd and 16 now. Calgary just trying to put it away. Go back to Mills, racks up some more yardage, gets it closer to another field goal shot. But yeah, you get the fishing, you get the beautiful orchards, the nice fruit,
the golf. Oh,
and yes, I do understand this is wine country. I don't know if you plan to do a few tours while you're here.
You did hear about that? Some of the best, honestly, some of the best vineyards in the world are right in this Okanagan Valley.
Well, I want a full report next week.
Well, you know, you might have to do a little tasting.
Oh, yeah,
all the way over
little research. Come all this way. About a little over 4-hour drive from Vancouver, but
I'm surprised you're not staying the entire time yourself.
I'm a little bit surprised myself. I will be back.
You have some family stuff to do.
Yeah, but I still, the time we've had here, it's been great. 3 more. Micatamney. He had a 57-yarder in the first half that helped him out, and that makes it a 41-28 game. 25, I should say.
So the Lions will drop to 0-3 and have the 3-0 Elks coming to Kelowna. Then go on the road to play them again.
Yeah.
Some issues have to be cleaned up quickly by this BC Lion team.
Well, I mean, they the one in Saskatchewan against the defending Grey Cup champions, and they came back and took the lead, and similar to the West Final, the Riders came back and didn't beat them in a close one. More dispiriting, I should think, the way things went in Hamilton when Bo Levi Mitchell on second play from scrimmage threw a long touchdown pass and had another deep. He had several deeper balls against that Lions team, and they knew they had some things to clean up there. And this one too, being back home, yes, a road home game, but still here in Kelowna.
Well, yeah, and we talked about, we saw in street clothes on the sideline Gary Peters and TJ Lee down there, and those are 2 of their veterans. But it's not just one position group. And if you think about the last, well, now it's, 12 quarters that they've played. And their Okanagan son getting it done down there.
Elon Thomas has played for Okanagan.
But, when you think of these quarters, I think only twice have the Lions been in the lead in these 3 games they've played. So they're constantly chasing points.
As they were in this one. Briefly had the lead in the first half before a couple of late touchdowns by Calgary. Little shovel pass inside to Keon Hatcher, but that's not going far. Sean Peterson in there to wrap him up.
But, David Sanchez mentioned it at halftime. Is this team, especially on defense, the BC Lions, are they good enough on defense personnel-wise? And that's the first question that has to be answered.
O'Rourke loses the football after he had a hand in his face, and a late flag does come out. Looked like the Calgary defenders got his hand right around Rourke's mask and ended up coughing up the ball. 1:21 to go in this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a few fans a little nervous about number 12 still out there with this game basically over.
Wiley's hand.
Major foul, roughing the passer, face mask. Calgary number 93, 15-yard penalty, and automatic first down.
Charles Wiley, 93, getting his hand up in there, but all academic now. 1:21 on the clock. Comfortable Calgary lead. Getting set to go to 1-2, and the Lions about to fall to 0-3.
Come back. Here it comes.
Deflected. It was Markel Lee. Thought he had himself a pick. Just couldn't quite snag it.
Yeah, it looks like this would be coming back either way. Penalty against the Lions. But, when we talked to Dave this week, Dave Dickinson, about
legal block, hands to the face, BC number 64. This is a 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
About his team, and that they'd lost 2 games by a grand total of 5 points. And you could see the confidence was there. He felt really good about his squad. He said, I asked him about the secondary, how he felt about their play. And he said, can be better. And it's amazing how when your defensive line becomes dominant with just 4 guys, how much better the secondary looks automatically.
No question. The screen here to Butler. Has some space. James Butler. Across midfield. 107 and counting now.
And I will say, in fairness to the Lions, this was the best game for their D-line, but not enough. Their secondary is still a concern.
Rourke to pass again. For what it's worth, he's gone over 400. Intercepted. Picked off. Zy Alexander. Do they rule he was out of bounds? Nah, they do. He nearly had his second pick of the day. He'd won in the first half when the Lions were pressing deep in the Stampeders zone, but doesn't get number 2 this time around.
Yeah, that's a tough position to be in, too, as a rookie. 24 years old, out of LSU, in Zy Alexander. They like him. Dave said he likes his cover skills, his long reach. Got a pick tonight.
Now, they've had injuries in their secondary as well, including, well, Jaden Grant on crutches now in this game. Adrian Green injured in the last one, and Delaney Robinson, number 35, taking over at field corner for him. Rourke is mentioned for what it's worth. 406 yards passing right now. Into the final minute, though, of what appears to be a loss. McInnes. Not a lot of touches in this one. Got hurt in Hamilton. We weren't sure if he'd be able to play in this game.
Yeah, this defensive line is, for Calgary, is the real deal.
And they've got the Stampede Bowl coming up. They're back home against the Argos. There's Senecal with that breakout performance in Hamilton last week with a couple of touchdowns. Hasn't had much mention in this day.
This is just, let me show you one thing real quick. This game is over, but that is Clarence Hicks. And what I talked about earlier in the half, that sometimes they will spy him like that.
He's so athletic.
Well, when you have a Rimolade coming hard off the edge, and then Hutchings or Brown or Wiley with the push at defensive tackle in that interior spot, and then you spy with Clarence Hicks and that great acceleration and speed, it just gives this defense a chance with just those 4 guys to give a bunch of different looks. And Bob Slowick did it a bunch last year. It was really successful. Former coordinator with the Browns, the Broncos, the Packers, and now the Stampeders.
Yeah, won a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. Working back with Dave Wanstead and Jimmy Johnson's staff. End zone lock. Touchdown. Late as it is for Hergy Mayala. Hasn't had a touchdown in a while. Didn't have one last year with the Argos. First drafted by the Calgary Stampeders in 2019 in the first round out of Connecticut. The Montreal native has a touchdown with the BC Lions.
Yeah, I've spent a couple of years with Montreal and a couple of years with Calgary, and is a big pickup with all the injuries that we've talked about at length in this game in the receiving corps for the Lions. Veteran receiver, can play a lot of different spots. The guys out again. Javon Catoy, Stanley Berryhill, as you mentioned, Brisson.
Seven McGee, who they plan to use in the offense this year.
Yes, and that's big return yards too there.
Silas Bolden stepped in as a returner with that injury to Seven McGee. So they go for 2 again to make it a 1-score game with not much time left. So they do get it. And if you believe in miracles, they get it to an 8-point ball game, but they need the onside kick and then a Hail Mary. That's pretty much it.
So you need to Hail Mary twice? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it's so hard to judge when you've got a 2-score lead and you don't want to let anyone in behind you, so you're playing a little softer defensively. But you're saying there's a chance.
And of all this, third most passing yards in a game for Nathan Rourke in his career, but comes at a time when they get down so far they've had to throw it a lot. He's 30, if you just look at the stats, 32 of 42, 462, 3 touchdowns and 1 intercepted. But I'm sure for 12, competitive as he is, that means absolutely nothing to him right now.
So on this onside kick, Dejon Brissett will be the guy that's in charge of making the catch. And that front line right there has got to take out any of the guys coming down to try and knock it out of bounds.
So they dribble it along, but it is covered nicely by the Stampeders to put this one away. And that'll be it. Vernon Adams Jr. in Calgary can just about put this thing to bed with the ball with an 8-point lead and 20 seconds only on the clock.
Nailed down a couple times and it's game over.
Part 1, touchdown Kelowna. Part 2, next week, next Saturday, a week away, when BC will host the 3-0 Edmonton Elks. The Calgary Stampeders didn't have a win until today, but they got one now.
And Vernon Adams Jr. gets win number 50 of his career.
And he gets it in Kelowna, BC, in the heart of the Okanagan. Some congrats to some handshakes with some old teammates. Speaking of old teammates, Buck Pierce used to be in the QB room with Dave Dickinson back when they were quarterbacks with the BC Lions. But this time, Calgary gets the victory. Unlike last year when the Lions had a sweep, including the playoff game. Beautiful day in Kelowna, BC. Fans coming out, traveling here, and enjoying seeing a beautiful football field host a game that I'm sure the Stampeders especially won't forget. They brought some heat. They got some big plays too. Sunday night football tomorrow in Montreal with the Red Blacks and the Alouettes. Calgary Stampeders get in the win column, winning at 41-33. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great night. So long.
Hello, and thanks for joining us here on SportsCenter. Adam Scully, Laura Dykin with you. And what a beautiful place to watch a football game. Touchdown Kelowna off and running. And for the Stampeders, yes, heartbreak in their first 2 games of the season. They lost both of those by just 5 points, including last week in that overtime loss to the Riders. But flipping the script, they are now on the board. Scully.
They certainly are. It was an intriguing quarterback matchup as well. Vernon Adams Jr., Nathan Rourke, who had only thrown 1 pick, 1 TD in his first 2 games. Rourke entering Saturday with a perfect 4-0 career record against the Stampeders, including a 2-0 record against Vernon Adams Jr. As both teams looking for their first wins of the season. Jump to the second quarter. BC down 3. Rourke throws it to Keon Hatcher. Throws it back to Rourke, and the reigning MLP takes it for a 21-yard gain. How about that? Some trickery from Rourke and the Lions. And on the very next play.
So it was shaping up to be a double. Trailing by 3. Pressing for more. Taking to Butler and throwing it to Jermaine Jackson. Oh, keeps his feet and scores another Lions touchdown.
Rourke with his second touchdown pass of the game. Lions take their first lead. Now the Stamps, well, they're not going away. Ensuing possession. Adams Jr. finds BC native Jalen Philpott in the end zone. Stamps retaking the lead. Then, after a Lions fumble on the ensuing kickoff, Stamps facing second and goal with 8 seconds left. Quincy Vaughn punches it in as Calgary leads by 10 at the break. Then, in the third quarter.
On the same page.
Saw Gary Peters there as well, waiting to come back. They've been missing him. Here's Adams. Left, deep, Hatcher catches it for Tevin Jones, excuse me, and it is a Calgary touchdown.
Well, that was pretty nifty. Tevin Jones, an incredible catch, taking it 56 yards for the touchdown. And with Canada playing South Africa Sunday, the Stamps practicing the free kicks after. All right.
And celebrating in style.
Like that. Then the fourth, BC punting the ball away. Tyreek McAllister catches, finds a seam. Here you go. Taking it 90 yards for his first ever punt return touchdown in the CFL. The Stampeders spoiling the party in Kelowna. BC made it kind of close late, but the Stamps win 41-33 is your final. This was the 14th game of the season. 13 of them have had at least 50 points. This is Adams' 50th career regular season win. Adams hasn't thrown an interception this year out of 74 pass attempts. Calgary was 3 for 3 in the red zone. They were 6 for 9 in their first 2 games. As for the Lions, they still do not have a takeaway this season. For a full recap of this one, let's go to Kate and the panel.
Alongside Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Siegel, and what a day in Kelowna. We can say that. These Lions fans that are leaving, they are not saying the same thing because their team has yet to win a football game this season. We will get to the Calgary Stampeders in just a moment in that huge victory for them. Flo Arimalotti getting a sack in his return. You got to like it. But for the BC Lions, we had this debate in the pregame, and we asked ourselves, you know, which team needs this more? And we could debate either side of it, but you watch Nathan Rourke go for 462 yards in this game, but then you still lose.
Yes.
I mean, and you lose in a place where it was absolutely packed. You had all these fans on your side. I mean, this was a big L, Milt.
Big L, big L. And I'm not in the business of saying someone needs to be removed from their profession. But in this profession, when you're not performing, you got to make some decisions. You got to make some changes. And that's like in any business. If your stock is down, you're going to make some changes. And right now, these BC Lions need to make some changes. They have a great quarterback in Nathan Rourke, and he's being wasted right now. You spoke of it, Kate. The numbers he's putting up, and they're still losing games. They need to make some changes. You can't continue, as I always say, marching the same people out on the field and think you're going to get different results. I've seen enough out of this team in 3 games to say this team is not good right now. And Davis and I were talking off air. They may be, with Ottawa, the worst team in the CFL right now. So I'm sure we'll see some changes, because if not, we're going to see the same results.
Yeah, the problem is, and I agree with you, there has to be changes. There's too many marks. A coach once said to me, you don't want to be the guy with the circle. You don't want to be the mark. And sometimes a mark on a defense or an offense, you might not even go at them until you need a play. And when I look at this BC offense and their defense, I could circle 3 guys at least on both sides of the ball who are probably a mismatch most of the time when they line up. That's an issue. But to Milt's point, okay, there's some changes, but if you have crappy furniture in your house, you can't just rearrange the furniture. Now, they have some top-tier players. Don't look at that, Kate.
I know. I thought that was actually a really good analogy. That was a nod, yes.
Yes. And I'm not saying that this team has top-tier pieces to it, but there's some pieces of furniture that you have to move out. And just rearranging the furniture is not going to help you. Right now, this time, until NFL cuts happen, where are you going to find players? You can't just rearrange the furniture and expect the room to look nice. That's the problem. But I do agree with you. Something has to change. There's too many mismatches. And schematically, I don't even know what to call, especially defensively. I don't know what I would call because I see mismatches in too many spots.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in as a coach when nothing is working. You're bringing pressure, they're still making plays. You're playing coverage, they're still making plays. So there's a lot of confusion and disarray when you look at the BC Lions. But coming into this game, we knew that one team was going to come out with their first victory. And you look at the Calgary Stampeders, you got to be happy for this team as well. Vernon Adams Jr. coming in, and there was some highs and lows, but they pulled it off. I'm extremely excited from what I saw with this defense in particular. And I'm looking at this defense, the defensive line. This has to be the best defensive line in the CFL right now. And this team, if they're going to take it, push it really far in the season, this is going to be because of the defensive line. You look at Charles Wiley, Jalen Hutchins, Miles Brown, obviously Falern Holden-Lauder, who comes back with his first game back and gets a sack. But you got to look at Clarence Hicks. This man right here is a problem. Whether he gets to the quarterback or not, he makes plays and takes so much attention to him.
Well, we were pumping his tires in the preseason, and my goodness, he has lived up to expectations. But you're right, a healthy defense for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be the best defense in the West right now.
Their secondary is excellent as well.
Could not agree more.
Watching them up close, they're long, they're athletic, they're young.
And by the way, too, I like that analogy so much about rearranging the furniture. I will be using that one again. I had never heard that again before, but I'll tell you that, Ches, you're on to something. And by the way, congratulations to one Vernon Adams. He picks up his 50th win. Doesn't get any easier for the BC Lions. They're going to be right back here in Kelowna in 1 week time. And guess what? They're taking on the perfect Edmonton Elks.
More post-game reaction, full Relade with Farhan Lalji.
You waited until week 3. It looked like you timed it up pretty well. Just how do you feel about your performance, which included a sack?
It could be better. I think we did enough to win. That's the most important thing, getting the win column. But I think we finished the game poorly. So okay, we're gonna watch the film and get better.
Defense finished with 4 sacks. Do you think when you get a player like yourself back, it can bring a level of energy, but also kind of balance out the group so you can't just focus on one guy?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, we have a great group of rushers. I mean, not just rushers. People play to run too. I mean, and it wasn't just starters. I think someone who wasn't started also got a sack too. So I think it's the more good players you have, the better.
2 close losses. How important was it to just get one here?
We needed one. Yeah, I think. Sometimes the hardest one is the first one. So just getting the first one and then going from there.
Thanks for this, Flo.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, at FanDuel, the Owls are a big favorite against the Red Blacks tomorrow night. Montreal's coming off David Alexander's first career regular season loss as a starter. They lost in Edmonton in overtime. The Red Blacks have the longest odds to win the Grey Cup at 33-1. No other team is longer than 11-1. At FanDuel. All right. Yes, LD, let's get to the World Cup now. Saturday, the final.